If Love and Gogi is wrong, I don't want to be right.
What would Socrates say to that?
It tickles my fancy.
Okay.
Goosies.
I don't have hair.
Oof.
You got Marcos.
That's not.
Wait.
Yeah,
That's true. You do got me. Get over here, Marcus. Let me look at you.
I don't want it.
Tobin and Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit her with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. Better have about me, boy. Okay, Leroy and Tobin, hold to the show, man. Steals in the stars with the show, and till then his half moon open. Sometimes go taste like a snowman. No proof, I'm a lie about a motive. No proof, like I always wanted him, I never hated him, I never traded him, and if I did, I never ever traded him. You know what is a star? Like another city, the driver's side floor. Gucci a large, so many more, 10 in the more, never a bar. Hey, 10 in the more, 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but it's something to me. Handsome as ever, and cute as could be. You can watch it on YouTube, but view it for free. Ay, this one time for the Twitch. This one time for the text. This one time for the phone line. Whole time wondering what they gonna do next.
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
Morning, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you on FM 104.3 WQAM. Hello, Leroy.
What up? What up?
How are you today?
Had some problems with my flight.
Oh, yeah, you're flying out. Yeah, I forgot you're traveling this weekend. Me too.
So everybody's panicking, right?
Because the hours?
No, because I was trying to get my boarding pass and everything, and it says unable to locate. So I'm going back and forth with the people from Rochester. Guess what the problem was? So even on my American Airlines app, I have Leroy Horde. When he got the ticket, he put Junior, and they wouldn't even identify me because
Really?
the Junior wasn't there.
Wow, that's weird.
So for an hour this morning, we trying to figure out, maybe it's the birth date, maybe it's
But you are
maybe
Leroy Horde.
Junior.
I understand, but like,
Right. It's the craziest thing, especially when every app doesn't give you a place to put the Junior. Like sometimes there's a drop-down box, right? Other times they tell you to put it after your first name, and other times you have to put it after your last name.
right.
And so I'm just doing all this stuff till finally all this stuff, we AI and all this, and we having problems with that.
I know. Yeah. Well, remember we got that shakedown in Vegas? They were trying to get us that clear. It's like it's 5 in the morning. I'm not ready to
And then we didn't know we were gonna have to deal with the guy at the gate.
Oh man. Yeah.
Vlad, we went one time and this guy was like a teacher. Hey, this is not the right size. This acceptable. Do not get into my line with this. I will take it away from you.
I mean, I like people loving their job, but
It's too much.
that's a little too much.
Keep in
That's
mind, it's
excessive.
at 5 in the morning.
Excessive at 5 in the morning.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Morning, Vlad. How are you?
I'm good. How you guys?
Well, now that we have to sit here and listen to you for the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah. What am I doing? Pretty unbusy with sports, dude. I got to be honest with you. Just baseball.
Well, we got the Marlins.
I got the Marlins. That's what I got right now.
Great
I got
weekend series against the Brewers.
I got
No yelling.
the Brew crew in town. The Marlins trying to bounce back. I got Sandman on Saturday. I got Teal Sundays. I got no playoffs.
You can watch WrestleMania this weekend.
I got to be honest with you. I have followed, and this is not always the case. Sometimes I know what's on the fringes. Vlad, I don't know what's the big storyline. I don't know who's fighting who. I don't know. Well, I don't even know what the main event is. I think
it's Roman Reigns versus CM Punk on night 2. Night 1 is Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. But don't worry about it. You don't have to. This is not a shot. But since you have nothing to watch this weekend, playoff wise, personally, you're just gonna enjoy the entertainment for the entertainment. That's it.
I'll probably just gamble and petty watch. That's what I'm gonna sit back. I don't know, I haven't really established, I got the old favorites, rooting against the Knicks, rooting against the Celtics. I got my old favorites.
Well, how you gonna root it?
But,
Well, you have Philadelphia, Boston. Who you gonna root against? You hate both. You hate both squads.
Oh, I would have to go with Boston. I would always root against Boston, but I don't think Philly's got a shot. Like, it feels like I'm rooting for no reason. If I honestly had to say the team that I want to lose in the first round the most for my own personal interest, it's the Cavs.
Really? Oh, because of Harden.
Well, no, I want Spida to be the hell out of there. That's what I want.
Oh, so
I don't really. James Harden's going to James Harden. No need to root for it.
Leroy, this is it.
Yeah.
This is whale hunting. This is whale watch time.
It's more like
because the
it's
fact
not
that
hunting.
the fact that you're upset with this team.
This is prospecting.
Yes,
This is scenario hunting. What scenario?
What helps me?
Right.
Like, for example,
this is surveillance.
For example, on the other side of it in hockey, I'm almost doing the opposite. Like, I have my teams I'm rooting against for sure, basically the Eastern Conference. But on the West side, I'm like, I think I want the Kings to win the Stanley Cup, which they won't. But if they do, then they can't steal Bob. So that's kind of like, because they're the team I'm scared of the most because they got Panarin. They always sign older stars. That's like what the Kings have always done.
So Bob's going nowhere. Relax.
I'm just very nervous, Vlad. I don't know.
There's things to be nervous about.
Doesn't have to.
But I just think that you sometimes overdo it for reasons, you got nothing better to do. So I'll just worry.
That's not true. That's not true.
It is. Because, okay. Well, you want to know the last example? The Canes in the playoff. Nothing.
That was legitimate worry, though. That was legitimate worry.
You had the answers to the test, and you still worried about whether you failed the test.
So you telling me you have an inside Bill Zito source?
No, I don't.
All right. So then you know what?
I am very.
What's
the word? What's the word I like? I like being right.
Okay.
So when I say things like that, I don't normally put myself out there like you do. You just holds down a hot take, right? If
Fair.
it sticks, great. If not, you move on to the other hot take.
Got to keep
I'm
shooting.
not like that. I like to be right. I like to say, oh, Leroy told me that. Oh, I like that. That's how I like it to be. So if I put myself out there like that.
Right. Well, I'm more like to be like Dion Waiters. I'd rather be over.
Hates up, so you're more like Steph Worry.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. I am the biggest Steph Curry fan alive tonight, dude.
Nope.
That's a good one.
Listen, Steph gonna have to catch some shrapnel by me.
That's crazy.
And it's unfortunate.
Oh, that's right. I heard about this the other day.
This is ridiculous, dude.
Was this yesterday's show?
Yeah, he was so silly. It's
not silly.
God.
Let me paint the numbers for you. Okay? Because we want good things. This guy, Vlad. All right. Barry Jackson just tweeted this out. We'll get to our headlines brought to you by Doral Kia. You always pay less with your Pricito at Doral Kia. Visit them at Doral Kia or DoralKia.com. First off, Marlins in action tonight. They opened up a 3-game series with the Brewers. That is at 7:10 at LoanDepot Park. Jansen Junk on the hill for the Fish. Sandy Alcantara is on the hill tomorrow at 4:10. And then 1:40, Aori Perez goes up against Jacob Mizorowski.
He got to pick it up.
He does. He needs to.
He throws that straight cheese.
Yep. Straight cheese, dude.
No movement. Straight cheese can get hit.
So we got that. But the play-in finales are tonight. You got Hornets and Magic at 7:30. Charlotte is a 3.5-point road favorite. People are off
nasty.
Wow.
People are off the Magic, dude. Yeah.
They are.
Go. That's good.
They gone.
Montero will be available.
I know. He's damaged goods. Might need to refurbish him. Mike Miller, make a call.
You know where they do good refurbishments?
Where?
Miami.
I heard that. I did hear that, dude. But at 10 o'clock, it's Warriors and Suns. Phoenix is a 3.5-point favorite.
Yeah.
But Barry Jackson has tweeted out a reminder. The Heat would move up from 13th to 12th in draft order entering the lottery if Golden State wins in Phoenix tonight. But here's the bigger thing. That would increase the Heat's odds of landing a top 4 pick from 4.8% to 7.1%. If the Suns lose tonight, Miami would pick 12th in front of 2 other lottery teams, Phoenix and the loser of the 7:30 Orlando-Charlotte play-in elimination game. None of them would move into the top 4. So there you go. Those are your scenarios. A little bump in the odds, a little up a slot. And this guy wants to hold a petty grudge for a guy who's not playing. It makes no sense.
Vlad, I'm not changing my petty for 3%.
That's like half the odds of the bad teams.
He's no longer on the team.
I don't care.
Right? He's a mascot.
So I root against the team that he plays for or roots for.
It'd be like rooting against Benny the Bull if you were against Chicago.
No,
But you don't root
no,
against
it's not.
the Browns.
Benny the Bull never tripped me. Benny the Bull never lied to me.
Do you root
Benny
against
the
the Browns?
Bull never inadvertently sabotaged the whole team. Nope.
Why? Because of one one-legged 3-point attempt?
No.
But he's also not playing tonight. Like, this is the thing. It
don't
doesn't
care.
matter.
I don't care. I don't care. You got your petty. I got my petty. I have to deal with yours. Live with it. Simple as that.
Mine is always sound and has logic.
No, it's not.
Wait a minute.
No, I mean, like the Eli
Right,
Apple.
you see this, Vlad?
Hold
He all of a sudden he reasonable.
That's
Get
reasonable.
the hell out of here.
You know what I love?
You should appreciate the petty. You should appreciate my
No, because
petty
it's always
the way you-
me first. Okay, petty second, but my joy is first above other people's misery.
I have weighed the options. Here, I have weighed my petty ain't worth giving up for 3%. Sorry.
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Okay.
I don't understand it. All you
Man,
gotta
I'm
do is
ridiculous.
How long are you going to keep this pettiness?
Forever.
all you gotta do is root for Steph Curry. You don't have to root
No.
against
No.
Jimmy. He's not
No.
playing tonight.
There's
no
you're a
conflict.
guy that always wants to see greatness. So don't you want to see Steph Curry's greatness?
I want to see. I would enjoy to see Steph Curry's greatness in a loss.
So you're gonna root for
I'm not
Dylan
rooting
Brooks
for
tonight
Golden
over
State.
Steph Curry.
you
And
gonna
I
root
like
for
Golden
Dylan
State.
Brooks?
I've always been a fan.
You're gonna root for Dylan Brooks over Steph Curry.
Yep.
That's crazy.
You know why? Because Steph Curry got that. He got that stink on him.
He's got bad friends.
Yep. Hey, it's not my fault. Steph made a bad decision. Sorry.
What decision? I wasn't
You got-
decision.
You got
Do
you
anything.
now. You got to be part of my petty. Sorry. Listen. Wait. Think about this. How rare do I have petty?
It's become more frequent.
Eli Apple's your petty.
Eli Apple and that's and
Jimmy
and Jimmy.
and
That's
short
it.
people and fat people.
No, that's
Uh,
not petty.
He's right.
That's petty. You petty.
Mike McDaniel. You know.
Mike McDaniel. Like you got a lot of petty, Leroy.
All right, then fine.
It's
But
just
guess
more.
what?
You've had more. You were less petty, but I feel like in
But
your
guess what?
in your
Guess
your-
what? Guess what? Don't
Hmm?
hate my petty.
All right, fine.
I got legitimate petty reasons, and I'm a ride or die with this petty. If
So you
y'all,
so
Huh?
you'd rather your enemies go broke than you get rich.
yes,
Interesting. Fair
Yes.
enough. The Panthers, this is what we call a karma pick yesterday, because the Blues beat the Mammoth and the Sharks ended up winning. The Panthers, even with their win streak to end the season, secure a top 10 pick. The Panthers yesterday locked into the bottom 8, so they get to keep their pick in this year's draft. Suck an egg, Chicago.
That's good.
Yeah, that is good. Now Bill Zito's got some tools. He could draft.
Oh, they were so happy because you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I think we'll probably play some of the sound later on, but they needed this. They needed some months off.
Oh,
3
yeah.
years of a hard Stanley Cup run. They needed it. They
8
sound like
broken
they needed it.
bones, Vlad.
Oh my god, dude! When they start listing the injuries, you start realizing, damn, was this just bad luck this season? Like,
yeah,
A guy's grill blew up. How does that happen?
yeah.
fucking a guy right
Wait,
in the
wait.
face, smacked his
And
face.
and to make it crazier, the only thing he burned with the grill blowing up is a foot.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like anybody else that mess with a grill and get burned, it's usually hands or face or
Must have had,
upper
like,
body.
He
How
must
you
have
get
had,
a foot burn?
he must have had like some grease that caught fire, right? That like dripped or something. He didn't clean his grill. Like, how the hell did that happen?
I don't know.
Like a propane tank did not explode, right?
Right.
Must have been like a leakage and a spark hit like the hose. I don't know. Anyway, Panthers, they get some good karma. Good for them. And we'll get into all that. When we come back, Dolphins also getting some good news on their biggest star. We'll get to that coming up next.
QAM broadcasting live from the Ed Moore Soccer
Boy, it didn't take Doc Rivers long to get on the podcast scene, huh? Does it look like he's stinging too bad from the Bucks walking away from the Bucks? He's on Bill Simmons' podcast this morning. What did you have to say, Doc? What do you you got just opinions and takes on the NBA or about the Bucks?
Well, I think they're very limited in what they could say so they can get their money.
What are you doing?
What?
-1.
Very clearly asked Doc Rivers a question. What are you
Wait
doing?
a minute. Wait, are you Spud Webb here? Was
No.
this? Are you? He threw you an alley for you to do your Doc Rivers.
Hold on.
Oh my God!
It's crazy.
Hold on. I didn't know.
You wrapped up in Jimmy hate.
Yeah, that's
You
it.
blinded.
Hold on.
Everybody's just going, the bit. What?
I'm very limited in what I could say
He's back.
about Milwaukee
Oh,
because
okay.
I still wants to get that money. Now, if you got questions about the NBA, I'm on it.
Oh, so if I've Raptors
can't-
Cavs, Doc, that's okay?
Clearly, I can't coach them, but I could talk about them.
I love that the Google me story is all that's come out of this is that Doc Rivers was like told to all these kids, Google me, which maybe tells you something about the last time Doc Rivers coached a team really, really far. That
It's
these kids-
amazing because there's certain sports and they're all starting to fall on this line where winning the championship don't mean nothing. Right?
Ring protection doesn't mean anything anymore. Leroy.
No,
Not the NBA.
no, not look. It's getting worse with football, right? And look no further than Sirianni.
and Jalen Hurts, dude. Could
Jalen
you
Hurts, like Vlad. We have had this conversation years over players, and you have said ring protection.
Oh, man.
Exhibit A, Jalen Hurts, the MVP of the Super Bowl
They're still miserable.
Wait.
2 years ago.
Take it. Wait. You want to go even further with this franchise? Doug Peterson got them their first title.
I know.
2
Listen.
years later, he was fired.
Right.
I would
Is
be
that
like,
not crazy?
I would sit there. Like, could you imagine?
I
the
think it's
next,
cities. It's not necessarily.
the next quarterback of the Miami Dolphins who wins the Super Bowl, which will be nobody. But if it ever does happen, dude, that guy is he's never gonna have to pay for anything in this town. Are you kidding me? Like they're ready. If that happened and Jalen Hurts was a Super Bowl champion, and people are talking about trading him and moving on from him, I mean that just would never happen. I don't understand that.
I don't. And keep in mind, I made a big deal about this when this was going on. But the same year Ohio State won the national championship, Philadelphia won the Super Bowl. And they early in the year, they wanted to fire both their coaches. You don't deserve a championship.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy, dude.
Denver fired Mike Malone 2 years after winning an NBA final.
Yeah.
No, you know
the
what's worse in basketball? Coach of the year.
No,
Coach of the year means
That's
your
just any
ass-
sport. That's just
Dude.
any sport.
Coach of the year was the thing. Now it is the Vogel, Budenholzer, Malone. They all told him to take a hike.
Right. Basketball, think about this. Besides Philly, they fired their coach in Buffalo. Right? And it's like, man, all the coach can do is prepare you, put you in the right places, and hope, that what he's teaching you relates to how you play on the field. But when it comes to the knucklehead decisions that are made on that field, you got to watch it. Like, guess what? How would you like to be the coach of the quarterback in Buffalo and he make a boneheaded decision? You know they ain't never getting rid of that quarterback. They ain't never getting rid of Josh Allen.
No.
And the coach got to eat it.
Well, that's why they got a stool pigeon coach this year. They just got his best buddy. Sorry, I know he's a local guy, but still.
But so I don't know. Have fans lost their mind? Right? Have fans literally lost their mind as far as
I don't know. I think it's
reasonable expectations and one is just a little bit too much? Like, I always had a problem with this. And I don't, and I guess for me it's a little bit different. So, and I'll acknowledge that if you get to the playoffs, it means you have a chance. Don't then complain about, oh, you can't get past the first round or you can't get past this. Because guess what? A lot of these coaches are getting fired because they run into Patrick Mahomes every year. They was running into Tom Brady every year.
sure.
Right? And what part of that plays into the decisions that these organizations and these teams make when you just caught by all-time greats?
Yeah, like this is going on right now with the Heat, right? Like it's like, look, I know a lot of people are upset with Pat Riley, and some are like, oh, he's got to look. From my standpoint and my perspective, Pat Riley can go off whenever he wants. Ooh, that was rough.
Yeah,
Pat Riley.
It even hurt saying it.
That was rough. I know that wasn't a great endorsement. Let me try that again, Pat Riley. From my standpoint, Pat Riley, that guy can retire and go off on his own terms whenever he wants. Does it mean that, he's living up to his job right now? No. I mean, obviously the organization isn't where it should be. It's not up to the standard that he built up. But I'm not kicking him out the door. I'm not shooling him. Pat Riley gets to go out on his own terms. So does Spo. They still have to figure things out. I mean, they got to take that tremendous job security that they have like nobody else in the league and maybe go at it with a little bit more urgency. But I'm not calling for Pat Riley's job. I would never do that. The guy's brought, been the architect for a lot of joy down here, and so that just is what it is for me. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe just championships these days are just more fleeting. Like people just don't. Do we move on too much as a society? Because from my standpoint, this is the Sergei Bobrovsky argument. It's like, look, I get it. He's old, but even Matthew Tkachuk's sitting there and he goes, but he's the most important piece. Like I'm like, thank you, Matthew. Somebody with logic saying something out loud. Like you're like, when do we appreciate our legends?
You don't. You appreciate them when they're done. What happens is when you win,
right? I mean,
you want to win more. So when you win a title, then you win a back-to-back, or you win 2 and 3 years. Now you start thinking of yourself as a dynasty. So then it's expected for you to make the postseason. Like there's no joy when you make the postseason. It's almost expected. The joy is you get to the championship and win. And then after a while, when you get so much success, it's more of a relief to win. It's not even like they enjoy it.
Sure.
Yeah,
Vlad,
I tell this story all the time. My biggest regret playing football. I had one of the most incredible years in the National Football League as far as our team and scoring and wins and all that. And when it ended, it was just like I never enjoyed it because we were expected to go to the Super Bowl. We were expected to be this high-powered offense that won the Super Bowl. We were expected to that. We took for granted the accomplishments that we were having and enjoyed them to the point where, I was on a team that was 15-1. I can't even remember. All I can remember is us losing to Atlanta.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that is what sports is today, right? It's like the team that won the most games in history didn't win the Super Bowl. I mean, didn't win the NBA championship.
Yeah, big choke job by them.
Well, and we said, wait, but here's the kicker. We call that a choke job, but the series before they came back from 3-1.
So?
But I'm just saying, like,
just because another team choked doesn't elude you of choking.
But it's just like these things happen in sports, and I still to this day regret it, and I just wish that people I know down here there's nothing to enjoy, so I'm not going to even act like. But when you're going through it, instead of enjoying the wins, you're just looking at, well, can we win a championship? And I think sometimes we need to sit back and enjoy what the team is going through. Like I think with hockey, you almost have to, because some of these games are so intense in this when you're going for the Stanley Cup.
Oh,
They're intense. 2-1.
playoff drugs.
The
It's
last 2
amazing.
minutes of a hockey game when you're up 1 and they pull a goalie is some of the most intense. So when the game's over, when it's over, you're like, you enjoy it because it was so intense. Other sports don't necessarily have that.
Well, I'll tell you who's the dynasty of dry cleaning. All right. Never lost.
Never
Undefeated.
lost.
The best. That's A&T Dry Cleaners, dude. The owners are. That's our guy. You guys can call or text him anytime. 954-610-9383. That's 954-610-9383. 40-plus years, owned and run right here, taking care of South Florida, Leroy.
Prom season's coming up, wedding season. It's that time of year you can have your formal wear fitting right. They can do same-day sewing. Give them a call. You know, some of these orders are a little bit ridiculous. It might take a little more time. And Mama Ara, the seamstress, might need a little more time to get you in tip-top shape. They service all of South Florida, Dade, Broward, Southern Palm Beach County, and they can pick up and drop off your orders. Ara's a fan of the show, so tell them what they get. Tobin.
You guys mentioned Tobin and Leroy. When you go to A&T Dry Cleaners, 25% off your order. He's taking care of you right. And once you use A&T Dry Cleaners, you'll never want to launder your own clothes again. So call them up today or text 954-610-9383. That's 954-610-9383. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you. Leroy, can we get a weather update brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, helping homeowners stay safe this storm season? Visit tornadoroofing.com for a free roof and window estimate.
Right now, it's a little cloudy, light breeze. I'm going to say out of the east, and I'm going to say it's about 75, 80 degrees. It started off like this yesterday, but it cleared up pretty good. I'm always going to look for a little rain, but what a beautiful South Florida day.
Lovely. Getting into this weekend. Hopefully it's like that in Central Florida. I'm going up there for Tommy's jiu-jitsu competition after the show today. It's back at it.
Tomorrow?
Excited.
It's tomorrow?
It's tomorrow. Yeah, it's tomorrow, but we figured we'd just drive up there.
What is Tommy's pregame meal? Well, you got to see how you get him ready.
I don't know. He's not, he loves hash browns. That's his favorite thing for breakfast. I mean, his match I think is at 11 tomorrow is first
What
one.
time is pregame meal?
I don't know, dude. It's not like
really?
It's
But you
it's
can't
not.
eat him too close to
He just turned 10. Like, I don't know. He's not like
Hey,
LeBron.
this
He doesn't
is
have a
not-
hyperbaric chamber.
He's not getting ready to go face Northwestern at noon.
Probably Cocoa Puffs, dude.
This guy is asking what's his breakfast pregame meal.
Hey.
Night meal?
all right, maybe I'm a little intense.
Yesterday, Adam Schefter reported that Devon Achane, who was not present for the start of the team's voluntary off-season workout program, was spotted in the Dolphins training facility today, meaning yesterday, per sources. It is believed that Achane showed up as a sign of good faith as the two sides continue discussing a contract extension per source. Before we get into it, this was John Eric Selly this week on Achane's contract.
He's not available for trade, and they are things are going good. You know, we've had some positive conversations over the last couple days, trending in the right direction. You know, he's obviously very important to what we're doing, and it's all part of it. It's part of professional sports. We'll get where we need to be one way or the other, but yeah, things are trending in the right direction.
All right, there you go. So seems like things are moving along in a good place. I was a little look. I don't really care that he didn't show up. It's a voluntary workout, but I do think classroom, new quarterback, new coach. If he was going to be there, I was definitely a little nervous. Like, that doesn't seem like a great sign. So I am a little more relieved that he's there, Leroy.
Let me explain to you how this works. In most cases, the early voluntary workouts are pseudo mandatory for the young guys if you haven't played or whatever, because you're still trying to make the team. For the veterans, they would like you there, but what they do is they say, give us either a week before minicamp or a week after. And they use that time to implement all of, the new stuff. The new guys aren't necessarily learning because you're going to go over it again. Right? And so to say that he needs to be there because of the new offense, a new quarterback or whatever, I would say they know that it's voluntary. So the stuff that they put in during the voluntary workouts don't necessarily, it's not full go. So him not being there, his situation and circumstances make a bigger deal of it than it really is.
Yeah, I think it's also, I don't feel like the holdout is a thing many people do anymore, right? Like everybody seems to
do hold in.
Just hold in is the new,
because they don't want to lose no money.
So that's why I was just a little, it didn't seem like.
But in to be honest with you, in April.
It's April. The only reason I would have cared, and I talked about this a little bit, I think it might have been Monday when you were out, because the news was that they weren't close necessarily. Was just, well, if they're going to trade him, the draft is next week. Like, is this going to happen? But just to get some more ammunition. But they really are, like, it's not like if they're not going to trade him, it's not like we're pressed for a deal now.
Right. But here's the other thing. How often is a deal done this early with one of your star players. It usually isn't, right? So
And don't they get more money after June 1st? With some of
They
the cuts?
do, but he said this week that I think they will to sign some guys. Yes, for sure, Vlad. I don't think they're going to go sign any free agents, but maybe to get the deal done.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
So-
you would have more money to get the
but
deal
again,
done.
there's a lot of other things, and we're just taking, oh no, Devon Achane's not in voluntary work. I'm like, everybody calm down. This is a normal thing. This is not, anybody making a stand or a move or anything like that. I mean, I know guys who signed contracts right after the season didn't show up until the third week of voluntary camp. So it's not, that's why they call it voluntary. They call it
I get you.
voluntary so that the team and the coaching staff can't do anything to you if you don't show up, other than try to put pressure on you to come. That's it. So
as a new coach and regime comes in, like, you do want to make a good impression, even if it is voluntary, right? Not necessarily for Achane, but for other guys.
But that's right. That again, that goes to my first comment about young guys who were hurt, guys who need to make an impression on a new coach, right? So the only people that are usually always going to be there are usually quarterback and some wide receivers, because if you have a new quarterback, you need to work on that timing. If or what this guy likes versus this, sometimes that takes a little more time, right? But there's a lot of O linemen and D linemen and DB and there's a lot of guys that don't go in right away. And to the point, one of the things that the coach will brag about, and you'll probably hear this at some point from various teams. Oh, we got 90% of our guys here.
Yo, I don't think he bragged about it, but I think he did say basically everybody else there besides Achane.
Right.
He was the only guy
Right.
that wasn't
Right.
there.
So and we don't even know that to be true.
I don't know it to be true, but that's what he said.
But that's my
I did see they put a video of Zach Sealer lifting a lot of weight.
Well, and keep in mind, Florida is a very unique situation. And here's why.
Everyone's here.
Right. You're here anyway because
Right.
beautiful weather. Right.
Beautiful weather, great gym. Why wouldn't you want to go there?
Try that
Right
nonsense
before-
in Cleveland or Buffalo or Green Bay. You see what I
It's a little
mean?
tougher.
So
Not only is it a great place to be, but they're right in that sweet spot of right before the Golden Glades. So they don't have really bad traffic to get there either.
right.
Unless somebody lives in like Doral. I don't know why you would live there if you were a Dolphin, but if you did. But otherwise, you're right in that sweet spot of it's not going to be too bad. I mean, you're going to stroll in if you live like in, I don't know, if you live in like the Pines or you live somewhere easy. But this was Sully on the work everybody's been putting in so far. A lot of work, a lot of football. Yeah,
We're going to play the best players. That's the beautiful part about, I think, the culture, the competition that's going to be at the forefront of everything we do. It doesn't matter if you're a second-round pick or you're an undrafted free agent, if you're an 8-year vet or a second-year player. If you give us the best chance to win on Sunday, you're going to be one of the 11 on the field, or one of the 22 on the field, I should say. We're just not in a situation where we have the flexibility and the luxury to be choosy like that. That's just the truth of it. Again, I can't say enough about the energy this last we have in the players in the building, the energy and the excitement, the work ethic. Those guys have been here getting after it. They had 20-plus guys here on Saturday on their own accord with Malik throwing. We got a lot of really good things going on here. I think if you're in the building every day, you can feel it. But I'm excited about what we have going. I'm excited about taking these 11 draft picks and throwing them in the equation with what we already have.
Sounds like he's excited for some action, baby.
That is 100%. You can copy and paste those comments to 20 other teams.
You think everybody else is excited about the energy in their building?
Yeah.
It would be funny if somebody did go up there. I gotta tell you, the energy was a little off this week, guys. I think we need like a company retreat.
And then here's the other thing you'll hear. Either the first week of camp or during minicamp, right? We got to pick up our energy. We need to have more purpose, right? All things that have nothing to do with anything, but kind of sends a message. These are all things like every year I heard the same thing, and we would look around going, what?
I will say Malik Willis, seeing him throw that football, chooch, dude.
It had some zip to it.
Little zip to it. Call him the Garden Man. He was throwing seeds.
No, that was
Hey, that's -1?
yeah, that was absolutely no. That was absolutely
Zinging it, dude.
That was terrible. That was terrible. Yeah, Vlad thought about it. Wait, Vlad was thinking about
it's like the more he continues doing it, it's like you're not helping your case.
Oh.
Like sometimes,
stop.
Tobin, sometimes you got to try it, and if it don't work, you keep it moving. You don't try to like emphasize and keep doing it like it's gonna work the second time.
Somebody needs to remix the TikTok of Malik Willis throwing at an open field. I'm telling you, dude. Anyway, we'll take a break here on the program. Get you caught up with your headlines. We'll take a Leroy's Fancy coming up next hour. We're back after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy with you here on FM 104.3 WQAM. Let's get to our headlines this hour. Brought to you by Doral Kia. You always pay less with your price. Zito at Doral Kia. Visit them at Doral Kia or DoralKia.com. Your Miami Marlins, they open up a 3-game series with the Milwaukee Brewers starting tonight at LoanDepot Park. Jansen Junk is on the hill for the Fish. And, of course, you'll be able to hear that right here. Is it on FM tonight? It's on FM, right?
Everything's on FM now.
Everything's on FM now, right? Well, unless there's Canes stuff, right?
Unless there's an afternoon game in the weekdays.
Got it. Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, if you guys want to put some afternoon games in the weekdays.
No. They want to hear the dulcet voice of Tobin and Leroy.
If they want, I mean, I'm just saying.
And Solana as well.
Yeah. Like, listen, if there's ever a Sandy game you guys want to throw on the air during the, I'm just saying, kids' day, camp day.
You'll be able to hear Sandy game this weekend on 104.3 FM.
All righty.
We'll hear tonight's game on 104.3 FM.
Well, the Marlins looking to bounce back off of a disappointing end to that Braves series. So hopefully they can get it right at home. They've been good at home so far this season. Sandy's up tomorrow afternoon, 4:10. That's Beer Fest Day. And then that's J-Fig's favorite. And then you got Sunday at 1:40. Eury Perez on the hill to close out the series on a teal Sunday. So that's all coming up.
Beer Fest is tomorrow.
Yes. They do it every Saturday, Vlad. Every Saturday is Beer Fest.
That's good.
Can I wear the thing that they gave us and to Bear Fest? There's no rules, right? I'm not gonna go interview somebody.
Oh, what, you talking about credential?
Yeah, I'll interview the beer people.
You could get in with your credential.
And slide it in the pocket.
I'm just saying.
I don't know what the rules are. Shmee the Schmolnik says, if Tobin was pitching tonight, it would be Jansen Chunk. Wow. Are you okay, Leroy?
Like,
Witcher.
I was reading through the chats and everybody's attacking me about my petty. And then somebody said, I don't even know Chunky 52's real name.
Neither do I, to be honest with you. Neither do I. By the way, this was Jimmy Butler on his Instagram, just to add to Leroy's petty watch tonight.
All right. Yeah. Let me get this done so it's going to be company. What I mean, what's effing company?
See, he's not even giving themselves credit. Stephen Company.
I wonder when they go ask their management, Jimmy said if he was playing, they would have won.
I guess we'll find out. I'll send that message over to Golden State Tobin.
Why? We have people down here thinking that every city has a U.
They do.
Right?
Man, I don't know. Tonight is the play-in finale. The Warriors will play at 10 o'clock against the Suns.
Oh, who cares?
Who cares? Well, I do for draft status, for draft purposes.
For 3%?
Yeah, I want 3%.
Wait,
Every little bit helps.
Leroy.
Yes, sir.
I know you're not making fun of 3% because I do recall not too long ago there was a 3% shirt that you made, your lovely wife made.
So, but there's a difference. There's a difference.
What's that?
So, if the Miami Heat have a 4% chance of getting the first pick, 4.8, and they get the first pick,
yeah,
then you can make a hat and t-shirt that said 4.8%. Right? That's what that was about. That was about people giving the Heat a 3% chance to win.
Okay.
But it wasn't about,
draft,
hey,
bro.
let's lose this game for additional 3% chance.
We deserve it, dude. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm calling upon Adam Silver. I will give forgiveness for the Terry Rozier scandal. Okay, I have mold on it. I know Vlad said that I was going to think about it, but I will tell. I'm going to extend what I like to call the Tobes olive branch right now, because look, I've said a lot of mean things about Adam Silver. None of them I take back, but we can put all of this in the past: the Terry Rozier scandal, your cover up, your greed for gambling money. We can put that all behind us, Adam Silver. All you have to do, and by the way, think about it like this, Commissioner Cover-Up. You can almost kill two birds with one stone. We call that the J-Fig. You can almost kill two birds with one stone, because not only will you be doing right by the Heat, who you screwed, but
Point for Tobin.
how much of a stand would it be if you screwed all of the tanking teams and all their shenanigans that they did at the end of this season? The Jazz, the Grizzlies, the Wizards, all of those teams, you want to debunk tanking. Well, what about the team that's anti-tanking? You reward them, a la Panthers. The Panthers ending the year with wins. The Heat, they never tried to lose. They just were terrible at defense the last 3 weeks.
How about this? The fact that LaMelo hurt Bam and he wasn't ejected out the game.
Right.
And the Terry Rozier, this kind of looks like, hey, remember what happened with Dallas last year with the Luka AD trade?
Exactly, Vlad.
You owed us one for Cooper. You owed us one, so you gave us Cooper Flag. You know what? We've been screwing Miami a lot over the last year and a half with Terry. Their best player gets hurt during a play-in game. Let's give them a lottery pick.
We've never had the number one pick. It's never happened. Not in our history. Well, you know.
Are the Heat the only team that's never had the number one pick?
I don't think I think the Grizzlies have never had the number one pick. I feel like they've had number two a bunch. But it wasn't many franchises.
Right. Which is crazy in itself, right?
Yeah.
That you can be around for 35 years.
All right. I have the list.
You have the list?
Yes. There are 6 teams.
Wow. That many?
Yes. The Miami Heat, Oklahoma City Thunder, Indiana Pacers, Denver Nuggets, Utah Jazz, and Memphis Grizzlies.
All right. Well,
a lot of them have had the number 2 pick.
Yes.
Miami had the number 2. I believe
Beasley
Indiana had the number 2 when they had during the Ewing frozen envelope draft.
When did the Heat pick the OG the center?
Cycly?
I
want to say they had the 4th pick that year.
Okay.
That was the 4th pick, right?
Okay.
Pacers, I think that was 85, the Ewing draft. They had the number 2 pick. Memphis Grizzlies, John Morant was the number 2 pick. The Jazz.
According to this, the Pacers have never had a top 3 pick in the lottery era.
Yeah, never picked higher than number 2, which was Rick Smits.
Crazy.
Yeah.
How is that possible? That's not parity.
You didn't do anything. You didn't do something for the league to shoot you that gift.
I think it's kind of weird. Like, I don't even know if that's going to work, the whole flattening the odds thing, because I feel like then the teams are going to just have to try even harder to get their little sliver of tanking, because that's kind of what they did here anyway. And so many teams, I know there was some like the Jazz really tanked because this was a key year for protections. Like, they had to do it. They had to make sure. I think they weren't in the top 8. Otherwise, it had to go to Oklahoma. Could you imagine Oklahoma City had 2 picks in the lottery after this year?
What they have done to turn their team around, and the stuff that they're still getting.
Yep.
It almost seems like they're going to be here for 20 years.
Oh, the back taxes that they have. Oh my God, it's crazy. So anyway, Adam Silver, this is how you get forgiveness from old Tobes. Okay, you do the right thing. You make all these tanking teams look a fool, and you do right by the Miami Heat, who have been screwed by the Hornets on and off the court. And I will stop with my mean insults. Those are my terms, Commissioner Silver. And do the right thing. Do the right thing, dude. All right? That's all I'm asking. I don't think it's too much. As far as the rest of the playoffs is concerned, that'll get going on Saturday. And I should mention, little programming note, tomorrow, 10:15 a.m., the Miami Hurricanes spring game, which can be heard here on QAM. Is that is the spring game on ACC Network, Vlad? Do you know? Like, can you?
No,
watch
there's no more televised.
They don't televise anymore because the teams don't want to televise.
Because they don't want people to see players and they don't want them to see plays.
So like, are people going to be in the stands with fans allowed? It's on campus, right?
It's at Green Tree, right? Or Greenlee?
Yeah, or maybe their soccer place. I don't know, but I think it's on campus.
You know what's crazy about that? As a former athlete, I'm offended. I'm offended that coaches are worried about teams knowing what you're going to do and not about the players running it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Hey, here's one. For the last 3 years, Ruben Bain was going to rush off the left side.
Yeah.
Like, do we need to
know
not
that
show training camp or show the spring game
something
for people
tells
to
me,
know that?
Yeah, something tells me that Mark Fletcher is going to be really hard to tackle this year still.
Right. Right. Like we have gotten so far away. Like, it bothers me to no end when a player says they knew exactly what we were going to do. Hey, dumbass, they always do. They watch film for the last 2 years on everything that you've done and your tendencies. It's all about your ability to beat the guy in front of you. That's always been sports. To make it about they knew what we were doing, they knew the routes we were going to run. Of course they do. You don't have a whole bunch of different routes. So I think it's an insult to the talent on the field for people to think this way. For fans to say, oh, it looked like they knew exactly what we were doing. Yes, of course they do. They always do. It's about you beating the guy across from you. Guess what? When Randy was a rookie, you know what they would say?
Mm-hmm.
Every team, you'd hear him say, all Randy runs is go routes. You ain't stopped him yet.
Fair point.
Stop it with that. You knew LT was coming. Like, come on, man. When does it become? I hate the fact that sports has become that instead of what the talent on the field is doing.
Football's too paranoid. I mean, it is. It is one of these things where, but
baseball too.
I'll tell you who ruins it.
I ain't never had to paint my nails white to give a good signal.
Well, they don't do that anymore. Now they all call it with buttons because of all the cheaters. That actually was some blatant cheating. That was some blatant cheating.
Now we got now the pitcher's on the mound like a quarterback.
Oh, dude, I saw this morning they were doing the not top 10 and some dude ABS'd on the Reds, and it literally was like ABS right down the pipe. They're like, come on, dude, what did you challenge that for? It caught all of the strike zone.
All of it, not even the corner of it. The whole ball was right down the middle. The coach is probably like, hey, you probably next time ought to swing at that.
Probably. Weather report brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, helping keep your home and family safe when the storm rolls in. Visit tornadoroofing.com for your free roof and window estimate. Miami right now, it is 80 degrees, cloudy with a high of 84, low of 73. And they are expected to have some sunny conditions coming in around noon with wind gusts up to 12 miles per hour.
That's about a one club win.
We'll take a break. More to come. We're back after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. Hey, WQM's Whiskey Stars and Cigars, presented by Edmore Sawgrass Auto Mall, returns Friday, May 8th. You talk sports unfiltered with the QAM staff. You come on over. It's going to be a Tabacón Cigars and Spirits at Plantation Walk. Enjoy a nice Scotch whiskey from Johnny Walker and a smooth cigar from Drew Estate. The event is free. Just stop on by. You get all the info now at WQAM.com. Must be 21 or older. And we will see you May 8th at Tabacón Cigars and Spirits at Plantation Walk. Whiskey, Stars, and Cigars presented by Edmore Sawgrass Auto Mall. 4 brands, 1 location, your local Cadillac, Buick, GMC, and Chevy dealer. Check that on out. We will not have Panthers to watch this season, though. Last time we had the Blue Leaf series to watch. The Panthers yesterday held their exit media. Bring you some of this right now. This was Bill Zito yesterday, Leroy, and this is what the Panthers general manager. By the way, the Panthers assistant general manager yesterday got hired by the New Jersey Devils. So they're losing some of the brass this year. But here's what Bill Zito had to say on all the injuries this season.
You know, we go through the process. There will be lots of reflection, and there's already been significant amount of discussion. Okay. How did we get here? Where are we? I mean, the injuries are legion. I mean, you look at broken bones, joints, MCLs, hips, backs, surgeries. Cooley had a broken face, and then put the fishbowl on and came back and broke his finger. So a lot of those types of things actually. They make you feel a little bit better as a manager because it's not the soft tissue or the groin pulls or the fatigue or the dehydration. What are you going to do? Guy hits you with a stick, your bone's going to break.
Yeah, it was crazy. It really was. He's right. I mean, that's one of those things. It's one of those things where it's like, it's not like the Panthers didn't train hard enough or, some fluke things like the one joint, the one ligament that went down was unfortunately the most important player. I mean, that was terrible.
Yeah.
At training camp, but it just kept happening. It just kept snowballing. And we always talk about the Panthers' depth, but dude, I mean, it can only take so many start of the punt, but hits like to your team and your roster. And the East was very good this year too. That's the other thing. Like that was the other thing the Panthers were going up against. The Panthers
unfortunate thing about all this is when you've been to 3 straight Stanley Cup finals, that means you won the East 3 consecutive years. So that means every year that you go into this, every other team in the East is looking at you and saying, this is the team we got to be better than. This is the style of hockey we got to play. This is if we want to have a chance. And so they're coming after you. And for 3 years, they've been pretty good at it, at defending that. When you get the injuries, and it dilutes and depletes your talent, while all these other teams have been making moves and doing everything they can to defeat you, it creates a hectic East. And that's kind of what happened. Like, you weren't at full power. You needed to be. And not only were you at full power, but you had some of the craziest injuries I've ever seen on any professional team in 1 year. I got to tell you, in all honesty, Vlad, I've been barbecuing since I was in high school, right? With all kinds of stuff, with wood, with charcoals, with lighter fluid, with propane, smoking, everything. And if ever I've been burned, it ain't been a foot. So, like, when you just throw your hands up and go, what is going on? That's not to mention
Seth Jones taking a puck at the Winter Classic and then breaking his foot later on.
Was it in the throat? Like,
yeah, it was like right here, right next to the collarbone. Just boom.
Right.
Gadjevich had a neck injury.
Right. Yeah. And these are injuries, and we aren't familiar with the injuries because they do upper body, lower body. Right. And then you find out Gadjevich had to have neck surgery.
Yeah.
You realize that Seth Jones broke a damn
collarbone
bone up there somewhere. So,
And the travel didn't help him as well this year.
No.
Right.
And yeah, when we had Olympics in the middle of it too for the Finnish guys, those guys in Finland, they're going to be playing like crazy for Team Finland. Now, it was awesome. Matthew Tkachuk ends up winning gold, and in Canada, you had Marshy and Rhino and Bennett. But they probably need a reset. The only my whole thing on this, literally the only disappointing thing about this, and it's a ridiculous goal to have, is you don't have the ability to three-peat now. Like, you couldn't put yourself amongst the greats, but now, try and get 3 out of 4. We know that they'll reset, they'll be loaded, but of course we do need to know about the future of their goalie. Here was Bill Zito yesterday on Sergei Bobrovsky.
I had a great meeting with Bob yesterday. Yeah, it's sincerely the hope, honestly the hope. Yeah, he's meant quite a bit, and you guys know it. The work ethic is infamous. The professionalism, the leadership. If you have occasion to get to know him, he's a wonderful human being with a great sense of humor, very funny guy, and a very good, caring, and considerate teammate. He does so many things you guys don't know about to support his teammates, not just as a hockey player, but as a person. Yeah, he's meant quite a lot to me as well. Just a wonderful guy, and fantastic hockey player, and a great contributor to the Panthers.
Final year of Bob's $70 million contract that he signed with the Cats. 7-year deal. So 2 cups, 3 runs to the cup, and obviously has etched himself as a Hall of Famer in his time with the Florida Panthers. After the game on, I guess it was Tuesday when they wrapped up, or Wednesday? Wednesday, Matthew Tkachuk said he was asked about all the free agents the Panthers have. Here's what Chucky had to say.
You've got at least, there's Bob in this room with a decision to make. There's going to be guys who are free across the league this summer. How active do you intend to be? Are you that do you have that sort of makeup in you, I guess?
I mean, I'm not like that, but the only guy that I will be recruiting, and hopefully don't have to recruit him, but that's Bob. We can't lose him. He's our guy. He's going to get us back to where we want to be. The most important piece of our team the last few years, what he's done. And it's just the character, the work ethic, the drive. I mean, he sets a tone with his off ice, his on ice, and I don't care what age he is. He's the backbone of this team, and if we're going to get back there, we're probably going to need him.
Hey, sound logical minds. Thank you, Chucky. Thank you for saying what I've been saying, but with the credibility of your greatness.
I mean, like,
your voice is so funny, man.
Yeah, like why? Like, everybody has pretty much said they want Bob back. Bob says he wants to be back. That's usually a good sign that it's going to happen. Usually, if it doesn't happen, they say we'll see. We got to see what you have thoughts, but why are you worried about something that nobody in that organization seems to be worried about?
Because the thing you keep losing sight of in this that I don't.
No, tell me. Please tell me.
I will. Is that there's going to be a lot when we talk about whales all over the place, right? He's free to do what he wants. And so, yes, he loves it down here. His family's here. They were born here. They're raised here. He loves the community. He's a South Florida staple. He's a legend. But then you got these snakes when they get bounced from the cup. Hold on. That once they lose this year in the Stanley Cup, and they're all going to look to their goalies and be like, bum. And you're going to have this 2-time champion, a Hall of Famer out there, and riches. People are going to want to throw the bag at him. So it has nothing to do with, do I think the Panthers want him? Yeah, I do. But,
can I ask you a question?
Let me finish, and then you can. Organizations, they tend to take for granted the guys who are here. They'll say, the age, what should we pay Bob? Keep paying him, because here come the Oilers. Oh, Bob, $12 million a year. They don't have a goalie. They're going to lose this year because nobody can stop pucks on that team. And, if the Panthers are going to be sitting here being like, hey, Bob, $4 million a year, he's like, so that's why I'm worried. That's why I'm worried. And I think it's a fine thing to be worried about, worrying about the other suitors that will be out there for him.
Now
you can ask your question.
Here's what bothers me about all this. As much as you love Bob, have some more respect for Bob. You think Bob is all about the money, right? So you are basically saying that somebody like that could lure Bob away for a couple more million at this stage in his career.
Well, I'm not worried about a couple more million. I'm worried about Brink's.
But it doesn't, again, don't disrespect Bob.
It's not disrespecting. How is that disrespecting? You're disrespecting if you don't think anybody's going to offer that.
You're basically saying that I don't care how Bob feels. We can offer him enough money to get him out of there. That's what you're saying.
I'm saying that if you lowball,
that is what you're saying.
I'm saying if the Panthers think it's just going to be discounts and glory, and there's going to be other franchises, it's the most important position in the playoffs. You're going to have a lot of teams out there trying to vie for the cup with the Panthers out there, and not only that, and think about it like this, Leroy. If you had a chance, okay, if you were the Oilers and knew the Panthers had a down year, you got to impress Connor McDavid, okay, because he's going to the last year of his deal. And you have to not only fix your goalie situation, but you get to take out the backbone, as Matthew Tkachuk regards him. So it's not only stealing Bob, but hurting the Panthers. Because the Panthers don't have an answer. It's not Tarasov. I'm sorry. He's not ready. So I'm just...
I understand everything you're saying. What I would say to you is this. You've talked about the Oilers. You've talked about what the Panthers do. What about what Bob wants? Sometimes you want to be in a place you're comfortable with, and money is not going to lure you away from that.
Maybe not.
See, Leroy, I would agree with you, but I've seen things here happen in this sports town.
I understand. I understand all that, but we're having a conversation about all the things that could happen to Bob without having anything.
Weren't you saying? I bet you said the same thing with Dwayne Wade, and then Dwayne Wade was signed by the Chicago Bulls.
But different situation. The situation with D Wade was he was promised a get right contract, and then when it was time to give it to him, they didn't do it. So I understand him going somewhere else because he was promised something that he wasn't given.
We don't know, but we don't know publicly if Bob was promised anything after winning two.
But we don't. We don't know. What I'm saying,
you're saying that.
Here's what I would say. Yeah, and here's what I would say. If you were, hold on. Here's what I would say though. If you were Sergei Bobrovsky and you saw that like Brad Marchand just got a 6-year deal, and you're the same age as him. And you'd be like, the Bruins guy? Like that's what, and Marchand was awesome in the second run. Like, don't get me wrong. I love Marchand. Like it's been great to have him.
Yeah, but, I get it.
That's all I'm saying. And so like, I think they gotta either do it in years or they got to do it by money. But yeah, I do think it's a thing. It's if why would Matthew Tkachuk say the only person I'm worried about? You want to know why? Because he knows there's going to be a lot of floozies throwing themselves at Bob. Now will Bob stay loyal?
More credit. I give more credit. I give more credit to Bob, right? I think all of this, in the end, will have to do with Bob and no one else.
Hope so.
Right? So if Bob ends up leaving, he was going to leave anyway. I think he really likes it here. I think he loves the team he plays for. I think he loves the situation that he is in. Right? Sometimes a couple of more dollars don't beat the situation that you're in and the comfort in which you could go and do your job.
Right. I'm just saying though, everybody else has been taken care of. The main players have been taken care of.
Yes, but we don't
age shouldn't be a reason to deter that. It shouldn't.
Right.
Be. You got to take care of him.
All that is understood.
And I don't want to hear anything about what he used to make or any of that stuff.
I would also say this. You think Bill Zito doesn't know all these things?
Don't know.
Don't know.
Don't know. Hope so.
No, now you're saying Bill Zito is not aware with what he's done that he doesn't know the most important piece to all of this has
People
been
get
Bob's
cocky.
play?
People get cocky, you know.
Not with goalies.
Hope
not
so.
with goalies.
Hope you're right.
Oh my goodness. We
know
sit here like
you want to
listen, there's real issues in the world. Let's not make up stuff.
I don't
Let's
understand.
not make up issues.
Look, I love you.
It's Bill,
I love you. I love you.
I
I don't understand I don't understand something. You have always said that when guys are free agents, they have the right to go look at whatever they want.
They have the right. Absolutely.
I don't understand why you're saying it's a disrespect that, I think less of Bob or anything like that because he's going to get pursued by other teams. He's going to get pursued by other teams. He may say no, but the Panthers are going to have competition for him that they need to respectfully pay him because other teams are going to way overpay for him if their cups come up short. So I just want to make sure that's one of those things where they're not like, oh, his age.
And I'll ask you this. Based on what Bill Zito has done the last 4 years, you think he doesn't know that?
I don't know.
Oh my good. Now you're saying
He better. Why don't
and
you tell
that is my biggest problem with this. You've made a situation with people who are really smart and have really done a great job at what they do, and all of a sudden you say, nah, they don't know. They're dumb. They don't understand.
It's nothing to do with
Bill
dumb.
Zito knows
It
what
has
the
nothing to do with
situation
dumb, but you're going to sit here and you're going to talk about, the idea that it's an impossibility when we've seen crazier things happen in sports.
That's not.
Well, you're going back and forth. You're either saying it's not going to happen and it's a certainty that it's not going to happen, or you're not living in the reality of it. Like you're being mad at both sides of the argument. It doesn't make sense.
No, I'm not. I've explained why that I'm upset with you. Because all of a sudden you've called Bill Zito a dummy and doesn't understand.
Didn't say that he was a dummy. I didn't say he was a dummy. You're adding
if Bill Zito knows that all those options are out there, he better not come half stepping. He better not BS with a contract offer. He knows that. Bob would probably be willing. Hey, Bill, keep it close. I really want to be here. Okay? Those are two conversations that you just say can't happen because nobody's smart enough to understand the temperature in the room.
Wish I wasn't having a Peter Pan argument with you because I never said it couldn't happen.
No,
what I'm saying is they better not do that.
You claim that Bill Zito, with all he's done the last 4 years, I don't know. I don't know.
I hope so. Yeah, I said I hope so. Why would I have a certainty of it?
You think Bill Zito doesn't understand what the situation?
Leroy. Yes, in the history of sports, general managers have never ever gotten egotistical and think they could find shortcomings around a roster. It's never happened in the history of sports.
But
you're right, dude. You're right. It's never happened.
But until it happens, his track record says no, he hasn't done it that way. Is that an accurate assessment?
He hasn't had a situation like this.
He hasn't. Marchand walk.
Could you have? I don't know.
Yeah.
Marchand wasn't getting offered $10 million, dude.
All right.
Come on.
Again, I would just say there's a lot of people that have a vested interest in Bob being here.
Yeah,
and
mostly
I'm
me.
not just going to dismiss Bob wanting to be here or the Panthers wanting him.
No, this is the thing that I'm gonna, and we got to get to your read here. So I just want to close it on this.
Yep.
I don't know why you're saying I'm dismissing anything. I'm making aware of a situation that's
you
out
just
there.
said Bill Zito don't know. I don't know.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that, Leroy. Stop saying that I said that.
I said,
okay?
You think Bill Zito doesn't know that? You said,
Let me tell you something, dude. I haven't started the segment or said anything in this segment that said Bill Zito's a dummy, doesn't know what he's doing, an architect of 2 championships. Did I say that? I didn't say that. So what I said was, and Matthew Tkachuk echoed what I said. And by the way, he's got a pretty strong opinion on this. He's the star of the team, where he knows that guy's going to be heavily recruited and knows we can't lose him. So yes, they better be aware and they better come correct when it comes to Sergei Bobrovsky. And anybody who wants to talk about his age,
you don't think Bill Zito knows this?
He better.
No, but I don't.
He better.
Based on what he's done and his track record over the 4, you don't think
he doesn't have a situation like this, Leroy?
Okay, so
he doesn't have a situation like this. Yes, he's done a very good job. It's a different situation. Good. Okay, I'm glad, but not Bob. Apparently, go ahead.
I gave Bob more credit.
Not really.
I said if Bob wants to be here and he truly wants to be here, then if he has to choose between more money and reasonable money or money that's around the same, he may do that because he really wants to be here.
I'm not talking about that situation.
Huh?
I'm not talking about reasonable money. Obviously, if it's reasonable money, he's going to stay here. That's not a discussion.
You think they would lowball? You think they would lowball Bob? The most important position in the Stanley Cup run.
Would hope not. Tell the people about the Cadillac Classic, please.
The PGA Tour is coming back to Miami. The iconic Blue Monster will host the Cadillac Championship April 29th through May 3rd. There's going to be all of the top players in the league, from Rory to Scotty Scheffler, Tommy Fleetwood, Ludwig Oberg, Cameron Young. Most of the top 50 in the world are going to be here. There's going to be local food. There's going to be much more. Here's all you need to know. You want to bring your family? You can bring the whole family, up to 2 kids, 15 and under, to get in free with a ticketed adult. You can buy your tickets now at CadillacChampionship.com.
It is time, ladies and gentlemen, to tickle Leroy. Answer. Go around the weekend slate, and we'll see what Leroy is interested in if it fits into his schedule. First up, Leroy, the play-in games tonight at 7:30. The Hornets at the Magic. Does that tickle your fancy?
No.
What about at 10 o'clock? The Wizards at the Warriors, at Suns. Does that tickle your fancy?
No.
Really?
Fancy, not tickled.
I don't think you realize the stakes
Fancy,
here.
Not tickled.
2.3% chance. Upgrade. What about tonight at 7:10? The Marlins and the Brewers open up a 3-game series. Tickle your fancy?
Yeah, I'll watch that. I'll watch some.
My fancy is tickled.
So you watch Brewers and Marlins April baseball, but you won't watch a playing game to go in the postseason.
Playing games have been great too.
You know why?
4 great games, just because of one guy who's not even playing, whose knee is busted open and can't play.
Nope. That's okay. Hey, you have your thing. I got my thing.
Okay, fair enough. What about Saturday when the real playoffs start, Leroy? 1 o'clock, the Raptors at Cavaliers on Amazon Prime. Tickle your fancy?
Yeah, I'll watch that. I'll watch
My
that. I'll
fancy.
just be getting in. I'll have some downtime till like 5. So, yeah, I'll definitely watch that.
At 3:30, the Timberwolves take on the Nuggets. That's also on Amazon Prime. Does that tickle your fancy?
No, I'll be busy.
All right,
Fancy, not tickled.
Wow, so you don't want to see Ant-Man versus Joker.
Does it tickle your fancy? Not is it going to fit into your schedule?
Sure.
You're interested in the game.
Sure. Like I would look at this segment as something that I will watch. That's what tickling my fancy is. But
right, but
you
again,
go ahead. You tickle my fancy.
You're busy.
Yeah.
Like if the rest of it is, I can't fit that into my schedule, then like that's not, really the purpose of the, like, does the game interest you?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Sure.
Great. What about at 3:30? The Ottawa Senators open up their series with the Carolina Hurricanes on ESPN. Does that tickle your fancy?
No. My
Fancy,
team ain't in
not
it.
tickled.
My team ain't in it. I'm not. No.
You're not watching any hockey playoffs this year.
If there's absolutely nothing to do, yes. When it gets down to the conference finals, yes, I'll be more inclined to watch. But my team's not in it. My fancy is not tickled.
Can I say that this it seems like you guys might need to go to WrestleMania and just go at each other, because it seems like that Bob and Zito talk got you guys like beefing.
Well,
with
it
each
started.
other.
He started off today with the not doing the Doc Rivers. Like, let's be real about it. He didn't exactly
been
come
off,
in. Yes,
yes.
he didn't come in today and fight in radio shape.
I've
and
seen
so
this
like he
before.
messed up that bit, and now he's like, well, I don't want to watch anything. Well, I got to go over the slate, dude. There's no football. Do you want me to do UFL games?
No.
I've seen this type of breakup happen in wrestling. The mega
This is just a typical Friday. Like it's every time he tries to change the bit.
I'm not trying to change the bit.
J Fig is Miss Elizabeth here. Look, I've seen this before.
It's crazy.
You guys, what's going on, man?
It's like every time it's like, oh no, well, okay, so I just don't give you hockey games the rest of the way. That's
No, you can, but it's whether my fancy is tickled or not.
Is your fancy tickled by the spring game? Kane's spring game. Tickle your fancy?
Not on TV. No.
You can listen on the radio. You
It's
got the Odyssey
not
app.
tickled.
Joe Zagacki.
Oh,
DBJ.
listening to a spring game.
You listen to Browns football. It's the Browns.
I have,
It's the
but
Browns,
it is
dude.
it is a game against another team.
Kind of, dude, but it's the Browns.
All right.
Now we get personal. Yeah, you guys need to meet. Yeah, hell in the stuff. Let's go.
Crawford.
Let's go. It's WrestleMania weekend.
What about
Leroy versus Tobin? Hell in the Cell. Let's do it.
What about 6 o'clock? The Hawks visit the Knicks. Does that tickle your fancy?
What?
You know what? It does for this reason.
How could you?
I'm amazed at how good the Hawks have been without Trae Young when we've made him to be like they they ride or die with how well Trae Young plays. And they haven't had Trae Young, and they seem like a better basketball team.
Yeah, one has to wonder about giving a high-volume scoring guard not good on defense. One has to wonder if getting rid of him does help team chemistry and also make people basketball happier. Hard to say.
Well, the good news is at least Tyler is 6'5".
Yeah, 6'5" with Trae Young's wingspan. He's back.
Oh,
8:30.
Look at that. Look at that. Just make fun of short people and look at that. Look at the
No,
love.
wait a minute.
I love it.
Wait, he did not make fun
of
of. Wait, that was not making fun of short people.
I mean, but you're petty, and one of your petties making fun of short people, especially Trae Young. So therefore, he threw you a lob, and you 360 that. Look at that. You're back. Stop him alone.
I'm from a world where all of a sudden, I'm from a world where all these people thought that certain positions had to look a certain way. And then they started making exceptions. And then after that, complained about that person being too small, right? It happened a lot in NFL with quarterbacks, right? It's okay. He's not tall, but he's talented. He can do this and he can do that. And then when they get rid of him, what do they say? He's too short. He can't see over the line.
This is honestly the only series, though, where you want Trae Young, because the only team that he's really good against is the Knicks. But he's a wizard.
That's because we didn't have Mitch. We have Mitch.
Fair enough. At 8:30, Rockets at Lakers on Saturday. Does that tickle your fancy?
Yeah. I'm after the Lakers lose, I'm gonna be pretty interested in what they do in the offseason. They got
Giannis.
Wow. You think they're gonna go Giannis instead of LeBron, or Giannis and LeBron?
They don't have anybody to trade for Giannis, though. That's the only problem. Honestly, I think it's the other side of that matchup that's going to go for Giannis.
They're going to have the money to get him, though.
He's not a free agent.
I mean, I know he's not a free agent, but they'll offer. They'll offer.
They don't have anybody, though. It would have to be, they would have to get rid of Austin Reeves. That's the only big contract guy. And he's a free agent, too. So I don't even think they could trade him. So I don't know, dude. But the other side of that bracket, if the Rockets get bounced by a Luka-less, Austin Reeves-less, at least for a couple games series.
Are you really going to go?
Rockets trading Şengün for Giannis, I could see happening.
Oh, you think Giannis goes to Houston?
Yeah, I could see that trade happening.
Giannis, I mean, Houston don't they have, between Houston and OKC, they both have a lot of assets, right?
And San Antonio. So basically,
I don't think Houston has.
Houston gave them up.
They have, but they do have. They have they have a player like Şengün that they could trade.
Jabari Smith.
Yeah, they could trade the guys that
Şengün
basically
plays for a big guy. He doesn't really play defense like a big guy.
He is a turnstile.
Right.
He's a turnstile. And according to the KD files, KD knows he's a turnstile. So
it's safe to say that whichever of these Western Conference powers lose in a second round, they'll be interested in Giannis.
So you're doing the same thing with Giannis as you're doing with Bob.
Pretty much, yeah.
If the playoffs don't work out for them, then they're gonna have a mad scramble to find talent.
Yeah, and then it's going to be interesting because how desperate do teams get as compared to he has some leverage because it's the last year of his deal, so he's going to have to say on who he wants to go extend with. But somebody may go Kawhi Leonard on him and be like, "Nah, I don't care. We're going to trade for you." So we'll see.
Right.
We'll see. Then on Sunday, 76ers at Celtics at 1:00. Does that tickle your fancy?
No.
Boston's a 12.5-point favorite.
No, not even the least little bit.
Not tickled.
Although I will say that Maxey has had himself a hell of a year.
Yeah, he's good.
And it just we don't even consider Maxey as one of the, when you talk about player of the year and stuff like that. That dude had to carry them without Joel.
No, I mean, if their team was better, he would be it's unfortunate.
I mean, but without him, how much worse would they be?
I don't know. Probably bad.
I mean, they won when he was hurt too. So.
Yeah.
Finally, on the NBA slate, the Trailblazers and Joe Cronin visit the Spurs for game 1 at 9:30 on Peacock and NBC. Does that tickle your fancy?
Free Chauncey.
Didn't Damon Jones just plead guilty?
Yeah.
All I know is this. I've been on the Portland Trail Blazers bandwagon since last year, and I felt like Chauncey was going to lead them to the playoffs. I didn't know that Tiago Splitter would do it. And I didn't know that Chauncey
That's crazy. When every time you say Tiago Splitter, I'm like, what team does he play for?
Right, you're thinking about
right.
the Spurs.
You think he's still playing?
I'm still thinking about when he got blocked by LeBron.
Kemba Walker's on the Charlotte staff.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy. Does that game tickle your fancy?
No.
All right. Those are your fancy tickles. We'll take a break. Get you caught up with your headlines next. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you on FM 104.3 WQAM. Let's get to our headlines this hour, brought to you by Doral Kia. You always pay less with your Pricito at Doral Kia. Visit us at Doral Kia or DoralKia.com. Miami Marlins, you'll be able to hear that tonight as they open up a 3-game series against the Milwaukee Brewers, looking to bounce back from their series loss to the Braves. That gets going today. 7:10 is your first pitch from LoanDepot Park. Jack McMullen will have your call. Steven Strom will get your coverage going starting at 6:30 with Marlins on deck. Both of our other franchises, no summer playoffs for the Cats or Heat. They had their exit interviews yesterday. Yesterday, we had a comment from Spo on what reflection he kind of reflected on the year. And this is what Erik Spoelstra had to say on the Heat scene.
I mean, we're going to be highly motivated. We don't like this feeling at all, being, off in the middle of April. I also think that you can't just discredit that or discard it and say, oh, how horrible that is that we made the playoffs 6 straight years and didn't win a championship. This is a hard business. And there aren't a lot of teams that can do that every year. And is that the ultimate goal? No, of course not. That's Captain Obvious stuff. But if you make the playoffs and you don't necessarily get, what you want out of it, what you want is more cracks at it, and you want more opportunities, to make a run. My first year as a head coach, we won 43 games, and we were the 5th seed. And we were the 10th seed this year with 43. And every team can say this after the season, and this will be my exercise, but I truly felt that there could have been 4 to 6 more wins on the table for us, and that did not happen. And that also could have changed, our context of how we felt about this team. But you are what your record is, and you are what happened, at the end.
Boy, we took a long journey to get there, though. Jeez Louise. Holy crap.
Hey. Bless his heart.
Is it bless his heart? I felt like he was doing a little bit of
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying
like he was
because
doing a little resume reading on that whole thing.
I don't know if he went through the same season we went through.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I could have almost felt that last year because of how many blown fourth quarters that team had and how many games they blew in the clutch last year. And that was a worse. That was.
I think this year had a lot to do with continuity, had a lot to do with lineups, and that falls on him, right? Like, sometimes, I'm going to just put this out there. Sometimes you have to work with people you don't like because you benefit from their work in any business. And so you learn to deal with it, you learn to cope with it, you understand its work. Spo hasn't gotten that lesson yet because the games that they played with Kalel, even after the captain saying, he listens to me, I will never be able to understand that you play one of the biggest teams in the NBA and you decide to go small and get dumb trucked going small and still won't change it up. That I put that on him.
Yeah, it's also one of these things where with him, I know it's different than Pat Riley because he's got to be in the foxhole the entire time, and he gives us, the delusion of, hey, we have the competitors, it's going to turn around and all that stuff. But look, man, you aren't in the dance, and you've had to work and claw your way even into the dance the last 2 years before this, and you got hammered. If you want me to give you the break on the Jimmy got hurt thing, all right, I'll give that to you. But last year, I felt like he was more destroyed last year when they got embarrassed by Cleveland than he was this year, where he's like, yeah, I felt like, years past 43 would have been the fifth seed. Yeah, but it's not. It's not the fifth seed. That's not the standard. That's not what this is supposed to be. And, I don't know. I felt like I found him justifying a lot of stuff yesterday. And that's not usually what you get from him. I didn't like what I was hearing from him yesterday. I really didn't.
I would say this, and this is one of the things people have to understand with sports, because one of the biggest things I hate is people say our record would have made it last year. Every year is independent. Is an independent year, and next year is a new series of tests and what is required to make the playoffs. I mean, hell, in football, we had teams that were 8-9 or 8-8.
Sure,
that made the playoffs.
The Dolphins won a division. The only time they did it when Tom Brady's knee tore up,
and they were still 11-1.
Yeah,
so you had the same record. So to say the record this year, because guess what? During this whole course of the season, you knew what was going to be required. It was going to be more than 6 games better than last year. And you could see that based on how the season was playing out. So to say that after the fact, knowing damn well you didn't have enough wins to get the 6th seed,
it's also for me, if you want to put context into the year, like an Erik Spoelstra calling card for years has always been his defense and what he gets out of these guys. And even he, after the Raptors games where he's like, I've never been a part of something like this, to then go back and say, I thought we had 6 more wins on the table. Spo, for 3 weeks, you guys got the doors blown off you by every team that wasn't tanking outside of a Cleveland and Philly win.
Right.
So what are we talking about here? That we had this idea that we were, we were better. Okay, you had some good outings, but how do you sit here and look at how you nearly went a month being the worst defense in the league? How can you justify that? How could you finagle that? How could you look there and be like, well, let's just not look past the fact that we've been to the playoffs the last 6 years. So what? Boston's gotten double that. Who cares?
Right.
You want a lot of cracks at it. Dude, you have to fight and claw every single way with extra wins. Hey, guess what? You know what will get you extra cracks at it? Having a week off because you take care of your business early. But instead, you have to wheeze your way to the finish because nobody behind. By the way, it's only because nobody behind you in the East was trying. Nobody was trying to catch you.
The only teams that were behind you. The only teams that were behind you, which is even more of an indictment of this year, is the teams that weren't trying to win.
I don't know what this is from him, but who knows? Who knows? And I'm not here to tell you that the guy's lost his hunger or he's lost his fire, because I know that guy's a competitive maniac. But let's not morph into Doc Rivers here, dude, and tell people to Google you. Let's not do that. I worry that you're venturing down that territory, that you're going to be starting to talk about all the things that you have done and not what actually just happened. And yeah, I don't know. There needed to be a little bit more urgency for me on, hey, we're going in this direction, more so than, yeah, it's about the journey, man. And it's been a good 6-year run. You want a lot of crack at it. But I mean, listen, your record is what you said. I did think that 4 or 5 wins were on the table. What? All right. Good. Hey, go back and reflect on those ones that are on the table. You know what else? You know what wasn't on the table? Anything the last 3 weeks. You know what wins weren't on the table? Any game against the Raptors this year, dude. Any of them. Not one win on the table. The Magic, who are a dumpster fire. 0 for 5. No wins on the table. In fact, what they did was they said, get the hell away from my table. That's what they did. They elbowed you off. They took all the room. The Celtics, you know what they said? You're not even allowed in the restaurant. You have to eat the scraps like rats by the garbage. You can't sit here. So don't tell me what was on the table, dude. hell at it. Like, enough of this. What was on the table? Every basketball team on the planet that's trying to win can go back to 7 games a year. Well, we really blew that one. You blew a game against a team that didn't want to win. They didn't want to win, and you lost that game. And you're here telling me about what's on the table? I don't like that.
It does. It's unfortunate that, like, when you look at it realistically, you ended up 10th. Were there 4 teams below you?
5.
5 teams below
4
you.
of them were tanking, and the other one was the Bucks, which basically had their own Jimmy Butler situation this year, and Doc Rivers coaching them.
Think about that. And if you think about the teams that you lost to during the course of the year and the teams you couldn't beat, that's about right where you belong. Right? So I would like to hear more along the lines of, we got to be better. We finished 10th and we were trying. Then if we could have had 4 or 5 games back.
In 2008, guys, this was a good record. Great.
That drives me crazy in all sports.
Awesome.
And you know what? I also blame the media because they put stuff like that out there. Last year, this would have made the playoffs. Yeah. Who cares?
In 2008, you had suits that didn't fit, Spo. Like, come on, dude.
Damn, why?
No, I'm just like, what are we talking about? What my record was? Like, what? Who is this guy? What are we talking about? All right. Anyway, take a break. More to come. Back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you on FM 104.3 WQAM. Leroy, can we go over to the WindowPlex, get a weather report brought to us by Tornado Roofing and Contracting. Storm season is coming. Make sure your home is ready. Get your free roof and window estimate today. Visit tornadoroofing.com.
Winds are coming out of the east at about 10. Doesn't even look like it's that strong right now, but it says rain's not in the forecast. It's around 80 degrees, but if you should happen to get a passing shower, it is cloudy out there.
Passing flower?
No, I was in between cloud and shower, and
Okay.
I corrected it before it came out.
Want to also let you guys know about WQM's Whiskey Stars and Cigars presented by Edmore Sawgrass Auto Mall. It returns Friday, May 8th. You guys can talk sports unfiltered with the WQAM staff at Tabacón Cigars and Spirits at Plantation Walk. Enjoy a nice Scotch whiskey from Johnny Walker, a smooth cigar from Drew Estate. The event is free. Just stop by and get all the info at WQAM.com. Must be 21 or older. We'll see you May 8th at Tabacón Cigars and Spirits at Plantation Walk for Whiskey Stars and Cigars presented by Edmore Sawgrass Auto Mall. 4 brands, 1 location, your local Cadillac, Buick, GMC, and Chevy dealer. I will say I saw a report there out floating, Leroy, that the Cavaliers, if they aren't able to get Donovan Mitchell to sign an extension, they're going to explore trading him. Very interesting. Very interesting.
So you want Spida again?
Only for 5 years. I've only wanted him for 5 years.
I understand. Is he the one that doesn't have to play defense because of his scoring? Is he one of those guys?
Yeah. He's good.
Okay.
Yeah, he's good.
Okay.
Can't have 2 of those guys. They got him and Harden. That ain't gonna work.
So let me ask you this, Tobin.
Yeah.
In your scouting of Orcas,
Yeah.
season, because you're Orca scouting,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of Orcas out there that are in tenuous waters, as I would I'm gonna put it, because you got Anthony Edwards.
Oh man, I don't think he's ready to leave.
Spida Mitchell.
Oh man,
you even have a Devin Booker in Phoenix.
Perhaps. I don't think he's ever gonna leave though. He makes a gazillion. Doesn't he make like $80 million a year there?
He could, but I mean, how long is he gonna stay there, man? He's like the Mike Trout of the NBA.
I don't think he's ever. I think he's just gonna keep reloading on the salary.
But there's going to be a lot of these guys that are going to have to make a decision, and obviously Giannis, who's not in the playoffs.
Right.
So in ranking, and also put Fit McDunks over there in New Orleans, who's in shape.
Oh yeah, they're not. Well, dude, they're not trading him. It's very they love him. So they say, but they don't seem to love him very much. Or they don't want to. They seem to love him. They don't want to trade him. It's weird.
So I'm gonna ask you both in ranking. Who's the top guy that you were gonna go after
for the offseason?
Yeah,
for real guys, because I don't think Anthony Edwards is real. I don't think Anthony Edwards is real yet. If I had to come out of next year and I could only have one guy, I think the guy out of let's make it the list: Giannis, Zion. Let's say that they change their mind.
Ja
Morant. Let's put the Orlando Twins in there. Let's put Franz and let's put Paolo Banchero because they're gonna trade one of them, and then let's put Spida. I think Spida's my top choice.
Can I? I hate to do this to you because you're my guy.
Hmm?
But you think Cleveland Tobin is looking at Bam the same way?
Here's why I don't think they are. They have Evan Mobley.
Well, I'm just saying other teams. Teams. I just use that as an example.
Right. They might be. Here's the thing. Bam yesterday, I was very curious to hear what he had to say. He ain't leaving. He's not.
I said that before.
He's not
I think sometimes the situation that you are in, You don't want to give that up.
And he's not a pending free agent or even in his last year. He's about to go into a 3-year extension, so he ain't leaving. This was Bam. Go ahead, Vlad.
Till Vegas get that expansion too.
Until then, they do not. They do not. Although I did see, I don't know if I'm connecting dots here. I did not know that Ms. Wilson was represented by Clutch, which, could make you wonder about a possible LeBron swan song as well. Hard to say. She just got the biggest contract in WNBA history. Maybe there's some, she is walking around in heat gear all the time.
How does that
it's not nothing
resonate with Miami, the Heat?
I don't know. It's not something, but it's not nothing.
Definitely not something.
I was like, oh, she was represented by Clutch, eh? I'm gonna have a long summer.
I gotta tell you.
I could tell.
The puzzles that you put together in sports are amazing at times.
Thank you.
Like you.
This was Bam yesterday. He was asked about voicing his frustrations with the organization.
Other people make those decisions of what needs to change, but it's very easy for a player, especially with your stature and success, being the captain, all those things, to get frustrated at the last few years, the inconsistency, not getting out of the play, and all those things. How do you avoid that frustration? How do you voice that frustration if there is some?
You see how the last 4 years have been. You can go in there and voice that because everybody in this building knows I want to win. I put on that jersey almost every game through hell and high water just because, I want to win. I want to put us in a position to win. And, when you don't win, I always put it on myself. And that's me going into summer trying to be better, trying to figure out how I can take my game to the next level, how I can be a better captain. The business side is not my side. To me, being able to share my opinion is more important because that means you have somebody actively listening to you. And for them to listen is me telling them I want to win, and that's bottom line.
There you go. That was Bam Adebayo yesterday in his exit meeting. Can I just ask a question, though?
Sure.
I don't feel like you guys, and this is no shot at him because I love this man. He's a pro's pro. Let's say that question went awry, all right? And Bam said, get me out of here. I don't feel like you guys would have blamed Will Manso like you blame me for the Heat breakup. I don't feel like you would have come at him with the same energy because you respect him as a professional, and I don't feel like people would have blamed him if Bam Adebayo would have said, get me out of here.
Here's the problem. Understand who you asking the question to. Bam has always been politically correct. He's always been thoughtful in his answers. And he's never, ever gone out there, put himself out there like that.
And Will asked that question very direct, and very nicely. And there was no
This is how you ask the question.
Right.
Hey, Pat, Jimmy said.
No, that's not what I do.
There was no snitching. There was no
snitch. Everybody knew.
Yeah, you saw when you ask your question, you have tattletale in your voice.
That's not fair, dude. I don't appreciate that.
Like Jimmy said,
I can be buttoned up.
Tobin, here's what happens. When you start to ask a question, everybody gets the idea that you're trying to stir something up.
That's not fair.
That is fair.
That's not fair.
That is fair.
That's only happened a couple
If you
times.
go to somebody and say somebody else said something, you ain't asking them about the topic at hand. You asking them to react to what the other person said.
The evidence,
topic becomes lost.
Okay, that's really not fair. I mean,
that's what you do.
Bam did say that directly to me one time at his charity event when I asked him about Damian Lillard, but that's not fair.
See?
At a charity event?
I mean, it wasn't my fault. Hold on.
Come
on, man.
Guys got no couth. None.
Oh, dude.
None.
No couth.
There's so much couth.
For the children.
What?
In a charity.
It wasn't fair. Okay, hold on. That wasn't fair. Because at that whole thing, it wasn't fair. Because at that event, I believe I'm not sure, but I believe I was doing it right after Heat TV. They asked all the charity questions already. I would have asked charity questions.
Okay.
What was the event?
I think it was like his camp or something like that.
So it was a charity event, right?
Yeah, very charitable. He's a charitable guy. He's a gem of a guy.
Everybody there is supposed to ask questions about the charity.
He knows what's going to happen. He knows. I just didn't think that that was going to be his reaction.
Big news off the court.
I knew you was gonna come over here with this man.
For the children.
I didn't know.
Children. He knew it. We knew it. Everybody knows what your MO is, right?
Yo,
that's
and then
not
you
my
sit
MO.
here and deny it.
You do have an MO. You a side guy. You come from the side, right?
Yep.
And then they all look at you like with this weird look from the side. If Jay Fick could show that picture again, look how Bam is looking at you from the side.
Just like Jimmy.
Just like Jimmy. Look at that.
That wasn't even, he wasn't talking to me there.
Look at the looks.
If you showed the
Look at the
video,
looks.
everybody's looking at you from the side. You a side angle.
I'm not a side angle, and I don't have an MO. I do not have a modus operandi.
Wait,
come
then
from the
why
side and-
everybody you interview give you the stink eye?
I don't know.
Jeez, Tobin. And they know it. They're like,
the
here
man
he comes
cursed
with
at
this
a
BS.
charity event because of you.
and said, how did I know you were going to ask that crap?
I wanted Damian Lillard so bad.
Hey.
So did he, by the way.
Look at that. Look at that. Everything
News off the court. Damian Lillard.
I knew you was gonna come over here with this man.
He said, he made it sound like, let me tell you what he was thinking. This man didn't come over here for the children. He came here to start some stuff.
That is not fair. I
Tobin,
didn't
you
go
don't love
there.
the kids, Tobin.
Really?
You don't love the kids.
Wait, who asked the question that created the asterisk?
Listen, we got to go to break. We got the mixed bag coming up next, huh? Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. It's Tobin and Leroy here with you on FM 104.3 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. We're streaming live on YouTube and Twitch, 104.3 WQAM on YouTube, Miami, 104.3 WQAM on Twitch. And this is a little segment we like to refer to as the mixed bag. Start off here with a little stuff from the Panthers yesterday as Brad Marchand, his second season with the Cats, first full season with the Cats, does not end in the playoffs. Ironically, Boston does, and he's sitting here, but he's got a cup. They better win that cup without him if they want to win that trade. But here was Marshy yesterday on the hello.
Hi. For some reason, I was showing up twice, so I had to refresh this.
All right. Well, let's get to Marshall.
Obviously, it was disappointing the way the year played out, but I mean, you definitely learn something about your group every year, regardless of how it goes. I love the guys' mindset every day. We knew we were fighting an uphill battle just with everything that the team was going through, the different guys that came up, and still the way that we came together. It obviously didn't go our way, and there was a ton of adversity, but I love the way that we stuck together as a group and continued internally to try to find ways to get better and improve on our situation. But that's what makes it so hard to win in this league. You need to be healthy, and it just felt like everything was going against us. But it's the mindset that you come to the rink with every day, and we still approached it the way we would have if we were in the finals or in playoffs and playing for a cup. So I have a lot of respect for that. It starts with the coaching staff every day and the way that they approach it and the message that they bring to the group, and then how the guys follow.
Well, in the words of Sergei Bobrovsky, it is time to reset, refocus. After some margaritas this summer and some elbow room.
I think they need a break from that too.
The party?
From the elbow room?
From the elbow room?
I just think.
How old are you?
Hold on. They won the Stanley Cup. They partied for a long time. Then got back into it, right? I think they just need some time to decompress.
Some detox?
Yeah, not even detox, but just the energy that was exerted last couple of off seasons has been incredible. You got to sit back and say, I need a nap.
Well, they do have a bunch of new poppers on the.
They're not old, Leroy.
Dude,
they can bounce back.
Let me explain. Look, I don't know how to explain this to you. I used to always think that after a season that I was fine because I was in the flow of things, going through the process of, and I would come back down here to Florida and then I would just chill, get something to eat and watch a little TV or something I hadn't done. And then I'd get up and it was 3 days later.
Wow.
Like without even realizing that I had exerted and exhausted my body that much. So imagine doing that for 3 years, right? I'm not saying don't party. I'm just saying like the partying the last couple of years after that intense couple of seasons, 3 seasons. Yeah, I think a lot of them will sit back and go, whew, I need a nap.
Not
Just
Anton
a
Lindell,
break.
though. Anton Lindell's 23. He's still thinking about that.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out.
He also hangs out in Los Olas. He ain't like going to
Don't get mad at it. Like, listen, just because he's sitting here making all the Cougs happy in Fort Lauderdale, don't judge the Finnish Flash over there.
I think
He
I
can do what he
might. I think
wants.
I might go there for
finish
my
what?
anniversary.
I
Go
swear,
down
Leroy
to-
just explained. Leroy was saying like he's watching Matlock and it got
No, I didn't.
No, what the Panthers-
I was watching TV and then I'm just sitting there and then 3 days.
Dude, I'm just saying, like, you don't realize how exhausted you are because you get into the flow of doing things.
Well, the ones
Like,
who have,
they're going to get a break that they haven't had in 3 years.
Yeah, that's because they played 5 years of postseason hockey.
Right.
3 of them played
So
the last game.
what-
That's going to happen. But
What do you think it's going to look like when they go home and sit down and say, I ain't got nothing to do for a couple of months. They go just like,
well, the ones who have new babies are going to watch Bluey.
yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. And then some of them are going to be playing in the World Championships, like Barkey.
Like Barkey. Barkey yesterday talked about his injury. Here's what the captain had to say about
Every week it's been better and better. It's nice every single week when I step on the ice on Mondays, like to feel the progress, and all the guys that I work with this year, starting with surgeons and our medical staff and strength staff. Like I'm in best possible hands here, so I feel great, and so I know it's one of those that you never expect to get, and you don't really know, like it's such a long process, but then for me to feel that good, like right after the surgery, and just continue from that every single week to get the more and more progress and get more and more work done, it just feels great to me. Like I feel like I never got stuck in one spot. So big thank you to them.
Big thank you to you, Barkey. We miss you.
Oh, yeah.
We miss you. It wasn't the same without you this year, buddy. We miss you. Meanwhile, we're in draft season. Sully, John Eric Sullivan. And some were wondering, some of the reporters wondering, what about all these players that may have college injuries? How does that affect how you will evaluate them? And here's what John Eric Sullivan had to say about those banged up in college.
Every situation is different. You know, there's not like a blanket philosophy. I mean, you certainly look at the injury history and the frequency and the significance of the injuries. It plays a part. But, you know, we have a medical team that's second to none, and they give us great direction with that stuff. So every situation, every player is different with that. Yes, we take it into the equation, but it doesn't always weigh the same, if that makes sense to you.
Refreshing to hear instead of it's 100% injury rate in football. What a concept to listen to your medical people.
Hey, that can I just I guess I'm from the school of you can't make the club in the tub. And I would say, and Chris Greer said, but we have really nice tubs.
Yeah, they do have nice tubs. I mean, that can't be denied. We've seen that.
I have never in my entire career ever heard somebody just dismiss injuries like the Miami Dolphins did the last few years. Right? It's unheard of. It is unheard of. If I were to change one rule in the last 5 years, this team would be better, regardless of who you select. I want active participants. Same thing with the Heat. Basketball is a little different. But in football, let me tell you something. Like, certain injuries that you come back from, you're not going to be ready to be your normal self that these teams are paying for a while, even though you play. And I never could understand. And I told you this when the Dolphins drafted Tua. And I said, the only reason why I went for it because I thought they were going to give him a redshirt year. But if I had a choice, I would take the healthy quarterback.
Yeah, speaking of the healthy quarterback, I see he's hobnobbing at prime with his squeeze.
Who?
Herbert and Madison Beer.
Oh, they're down here?
Yeah. That's a great place to be.
Yeah.
He could have been there.
That's a long trip. He could have been there 6 years ago.
Yeah, that's true. He could have. Yeah. But you know what? I think he's probably already exhausted listening to Mike McDaniel. He's like, I got to get away.
Well, you wouldn't definitely come to where they're talking about Mike McDaniel. Like, that seems even worse.
Listen, you go and have those
here.
You have those prime sliders. You forget about a lot.
Slider.
That's true.
Vlad, I'm never going to get over this. Take these buffoons to a nice restaurant. One is putting his tongue on a shrimp.
Who? Oh, my God. You can't take it anywhere.
Right. And then they order sliders.
Who ordered sliders?
Oh, they were good.
What
So we
else?
drove all the way down there.
You went to where,
treated to a
Joe's?
nice meal.
Where?
Sliders.
I didn't know what to do, so I just ordered whatever Tobin ordered.
I've never been in
All
a
right.
place
You know what? -1 on you, J-Fig. I'm gonna have to give you.
It is what it is. You know what? When I open a menu and I get overwhelmed with how much things there is, I pick whatever sounds better of who.
I also want to point out, Vlad,
let's forget he was in a
I was dressed in an elf costume, Vlad, because I had to pay a bet. So I didn't want to like.
Wait a minute. Now, I mean,
we were in Prime,
What
sitting
did
in
we
the
lose that
middle
bet
of
on?
the
you went
restaurant.
to Prime and you had him sit in a costume.
Yeah.
Tobin, I give you credit for going all the way with a bit.
And wait, and Tobin, I might ought to been glad that they ordered sliders because the guy next to us ordered $2,000 worth of crab claws for him and a lady.
He took the Atlantic Ocean with him. I was like, what the hell is going on
A
here?
whole tray. They said, "Oh, that's about $3,000 right there."
But I'm gonna give I had to give J-Fig a -1 because she said I was gonna follow anything Tobin just was doing.
I don't know. I wasn't
No,
gonna.
she
follow
said she was
anything Tobin.
overwhelmed.
I was overwhelmed with how much things there was in the menu, and then I just picked whichever one of them said something that I thought I would eat.
Still great though. Still great. Finally, here in the mixed bag, Kasparas Jakučionis, the Lithuanian lizard. He was asked about the comparisons to Goran Dragic.
Cass, you often get comparisons to Goran Dragic, obviously a guy who's meant so much to this organization. Just what does it mean to you to get those comparisons? What are your thoughts on, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot for sure. You know, I used to watch him a little bit when I was younger too. So even in Slovenian national team and here, so it means a lot. And when I met him for the first time, you know, he gave me a lot of advices too. So he helped me to start this season, getting better, and I'm just grateful for that.
Well, listen, he's a good guy to follow, man. You know, Spo was saying on Kasparas yesterday, he said he reminds him of Goran because he's really mean on the court, but he's the nicest guy in the world off the court. So
I could agree with that because people don't realize Goran Dragic had a WBC record.
Oh yeah, a lot of fights. He said he never started it, but I mean, he was always in them. We'll see. Goran, by the way, shout out. I think Goran's starting a new podcast, Gogi's Garage. So go subscribe to Goran's podcast. Love Gogi, friend of the show, and just an all-around gem of a man. So happy for you, Gogi. That is the mixed bag. We will take a break, get you caught up with your headlines. More to come here on the show. Play a little You Dead to Me. We're back after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. It is Tobin and Leroy here with you on FM 104.3 WQAM. Start up. By the way, I'm just gonna say this as an aside. I just looked at Goran Dragic, who launched his first episode today of Gogi's Garage. Jennifer, you know who his first guest is?
Who?
Giannis.
Is that interesting?
It's not interesting. Now listen, I don't even want Giannis. All right.
Oh,
I don't even want Giannis.
Vlad,
You don't. You've said it multiple times, right?
I just want to be
this
clear.
dude finds an angle for his benefit in everything.
I just want to say,
him and Gogi, basically.
Look, listen. I don't even want Giannis, but if I did, I mean, Goran Dragic, you rascal. So anyway, I just subscribed to his podcast, Gogi's Garage. Shout out.
Wait. So you just cannot let go of just paying for any type of Eastern Europe basketball, whether it's actual playing or podcasting. You can't you can't let it go, can you?
You think I'm gonna not listen to a podcast with that wonderful accent? I mean, you want to talk about making my drives down to the studio better. I cannot wait. I'm going to be a regular listener of Gogi's Garage, dude. What? They got in the old radio business, they got a P1 in me. All right. I'm going to be tuned in at all times.
Oh my God.
Schmeathan says just what we need, another podcast. Yeah, listen, some people are meant to be podcasters and some are not. Goran Dragic, podcaster. JJ Redick quits to go coach. He's not made for it.
What would you rather have him as, a coach or a podcaster?
JJ Redick?
Yeah. Since he
I
can't
gotta be
do
honest
one
with you,
of
a
right?
coach, because now he's not in my life. I don't gotta listen to his podcasting all the time and his just
Did they finish
meandering.
third in the West?
No, they
finished
yes,
fourth.
they did. They finished fourth.
Okay.
You know, I mean, it's got Luka Doncic. We talk about gifted on a silver platter. Speaking of LeBron, by the way, this is a report from The Athletic. Dan Wokey, I think that's how you say it. Dan Wokey and Sam Amick. Not a fan of him, by the way. It used to be.
Tells the truth.
No. I'm not a fan of him anymore. Here's the thing with
he tells the truth.
No, he doesn't tell the truth. He doesn't tell the truth. You want to know why? Because this guy had the audacity, and may I say the audacity, to go out there and he's like, I didn't like Bam Adebayo's 83-point game. And then admits in the column, I'm not even going to go watch it. What? You're a reporter. How the hell can you? First of all, I didn't even know you did opinions. All right. I thought you were a break it news type of guy. Very good writer. But he's like, I don't want to go watch the 83-point game. Well, I guess this is why, because he gets Lakers scoops. Anyway, he, according to them, LeBron has directly told sources close to him that he doesn't want a retirement tour. And James has yet to make a decision on his future. It remains a possibility that he will retire at the conclusion of this season.
Here we go.
I'm surprised. I would feel like LeBron would want a retirement tour.
Why?
The NBA would want a retirement.
They would want a retirement tour.
Wasn't
it like reported that his like rights on a retirement season could be like 40 million?
Yeah.
Just like selling the backstory on it.
The streaming, all that money those streaming services spent, they would want to air any type of LeBron final game. You don't think they would want to air LeBron final game at MSG, final game at Kaseya Center, final game at the Garden, Boston Garden?
One would think. Plus, he's still really good, but he might be tired. That would be understandable.
Oh, he's gonna watch Murder, She Wrote, and then take a nap, and then 3
Well,
weeks later.
I did see a funny clip of LeBron because he was asked about I don't remember what player it was this year. I think it was like Keontae George, and the guy's like, yeah, what do you think of Keontae George? And he's like, yeah, a good player because they played him. And he goes, yeah, you seen a lot of growth in him? He goes, you're asking the wrong guy, champ. I'm watching golf YouTube these days.
He loves golf.
He loves golf.
He loves golf. Leroy's gonna be playing with him like over the summer in Cleveland. Watch.
You
The
think?
Cleveland Open, the Jay Crawford Invitational. It's gonna be him, Myles Garrett, LeBron, Spida. and Jose Ramirez and Jim Thome. Do you think Jim Thome steps up to the tee box and he does this? He does the point.
No, but I've seen guys stand over the ball forever because they can't pull the trigger.
He might do that because he might be pointing because he's saying 4.
And then I remember playing with a basketball player when I was in Cleveland, and he was terrible at shooting free throws. And so he got over his ball and he took forever. And somebody in the group yelled, "Hey man, this ain't a free throw. Swing."
They got to do the countdown like Giannis.
Oh my goodness. I think golf is great if you used to team sports because it's only you. And it's the only sport where nobody gonna ask you about your blocking or play call or defense. You just go out there and you play. Now, golfers is funny because golfers always say we, like me and my caddy. Yeah, we had some good numbers and we selected a lot of clubs. And I'm like, okay, great. That's why he gets 10% and you get the whole 4.6 million when you win.
You think, do they listen to their caddies a lot, or are they just there for more?
Yeah, no, they do. They do. But during the course of a round, a caddy has to be a psychologist.
Right.
He has to be able to sometimes read greens, talk their golfer out of dumb shots. Because one thing about golf, you think you could hit every shot. Probably not the best thing to do, but
you should let me caddy with you. You know, like you go golf, I'll caddy, give you some advice. I feel like I could give good therapy during his tournament.
I want to enjoy my golf. I don't want to be in a fight with you. We would
in
last 2 holes.
Environment, not in a very stressful environment.
We need to do this. We need Leroy to play 18 holes.
And Tobin as my caddy.
He won't get to the 18 without.
No, we're taking bets. Vladbook.com says that Leroy quits after the 9th hole.
Oh no, I won't quit. Hey, listen, I can deal with it. I've dealt with a lot of stuff. 9. I've dealt with a lot of stuff to get my 18 in.
I'm telling you.
You might whether or not Tobin reaches the 18 with him, questionable.
Yeah, that's
questionable.
So I had to do. I played in a. They used to have an NFL golf tournament with the seniors, and up on Montclair, New Jersey. So one time I took my buddy, and he didn't know nothing about golf, but that was okay. I just wanted, you know what I mean? I just, wanted to take a friend, let him enjoy some of the, the perks. So we go, so we get on a hole, and I say, hey, I'm in the rough right here. I'm going to just chip like a pitching wedge. No, you can get sand wedge there. You can get sand wedge. So I hit sand wedge. It comes up short. I give him the stink eye as we walk up to our ball. On the last hole, on the 9th hole, there's a bunker on the right.
Mm-hmm.
And I hit my second shot. It was a par 5 in the bunker. And then I hit it out of the bunker on the green. And I looked at him, and I just took the rake and threw it out of the bunker and just start walking around in the bunker.
Wow.
So it took him like 25 minutes to rake the trap. And they told me on TV, they said, him and this caddy must be going through something right now.
Now double that.
No, because here's the thing. The reason why it wouldn't be as bad as people think, he knows nothing about golf.
I know things.
No, because this was gonna be great. He knows nothing about golf. He's gonna suggest something. You're gonna tell him you don't know anything you're talking about, and then you're gonna miss a putt or your second shot is gonna not hit the green, and then he's gonna look at you, see, should listen.
Or he's gonna be lying 2 shots out. He goes, "What would you go here?" And it'd be like, hard to say.
Yeah. No, because here's why.
Is that a good lie?
Let me explain to you why.
Why do I want to watch?
Because Tobin always has an opportunity to use a bit. And so I'll be seriously in the golf and he'll be thinking where he could put a bit in.
You'll see him deep in thought. And
Yes!
Not to help you out.
Right.
Can you drink as the caddy?
Tobin,
Yeah.
can what do you
Oh
think?
yeah, I bring my cooler.
Oh, this is
Wait,
fun.
stop.
What should I use
This
here, Tobin?
happened.
My 6-iron or my 7-iron? I don't know. I'm right off a ship.
He said, no, that's what he would say. Look, I'll
Or he'll be like, yeah, you're
I'll
close
chunk
to
a
the
chip or
iron.
something, and he'll say, give me that wedge. I am rats off a ship on you, my friend. And put it in the golf bag. Like,
I really want to see this now. Like in that, I really want to see Leroy play 18 holes and have
We gotta
Tobin
make it
be his
happen.
caddy.
We gotta make
I
it
think
happen.
Yeah, it'd be funny.
Dade South says Ben Hoagie. Because Snack Nicholas. And of course,
dude.
The golf bag of potato
Toby
wedges.
McElroy.
Phil Thickelson.
That was good. Thicky.
I'm telling you, first of all, Tobin's bag would be full of potato wedges.
Oh man, can I eat a meatball? We got a couple of Spidas on the cart.
Oh, look at this.
Dude, I'm telling you.
And I can see a food sauce on the golf cart. And then Tobin and Leroy asking, Tobin, what happened to my what's wrong with my card? Oh, well, you see
Got
that?
a little marinara sauce on it.
Can I still sign that? Is that good?
That veal parmesan sandwich was something, Leroy. And I think I got a little had a little accident.
Dude, this is
Nothing, though.
crazy. This is y'all really trying to ruin my life. The one thing I have that I enjoy more than this is golf.
I know, and the fact that the one person who could probably ruin your enjoyment of that.
He said Scotty Hefner.
Oh man, let's give you a weather update brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting, replacing roofs, roof repairs, maintenance, hurricane impact, windows and doors. Visit tornadoroofing.com. In Miami right now, 83 degrees, partly cloudy, sunny conditions up until 2 p.m. Then a little wind gust up to 14. Got a sunny weekend ahead, everybody. Lots of good golf weather for Leroy.
Yeah, I'm not, and I won't be able to golf. I'm not golfing this
Caddy
week.
shack
that's
or
right.
candy shack for Leroy?
Huh?
Would it be caddy shack or candy shack for Leroy? Because I know one thing that's gonna have to be in Tobin's bag.
I don't eat candy. You know
candy
what?
for Leroy.
I don't eat candy on the golf course.
Why? Is that like a code?
No, because it makes you too thirsty, and the sugar with all the sun, it's just not a good mix.
19th hole then.
Yeah, I don't have
Yeah.
water.
He thinks about it.
Dude,
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Like, don't be too happy. We go out there and I lead you to your first hole in one in a while, and then all of a sudden, I'm the good luck charm.
See, here's the other problem. I tee off at 7 in the morning.
Like I can't get up early.
Okay, all right.
Morning drive.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna set it up. You gonna ride with me,
Love it.
right? And bring all your video equipment.
We'll make it happen.
And we're gonna do it. And dude, what do you call them? Chunk Daily?
Pan Daily.
Button.
I would say this. It would be the only time that Tobin gets bored out.
I'm not gonna get bored.
Okay. Plus, you pretty much know all the people that we play with. You've met most of them. So
excellent.
All the people I play with. So that
You're gonna have witnesses?
This is
it's not just gonna be me and him.
Why not?
Because I could bury the body and nobody will know where it is.
Oh wow! Look at that.
Don't worry. We don't have.
Instead of burying birdies and eagles, you're gonna bury the body. Damn. Poor Tobes.
We'll take a break here on the program. More to come. We're back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. Who do you got in there? Was it Dre in there? Zeus?
Zeus.
Hey, Zeus.
Come here, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Come here.
Zeus in the Leroy Horde Studios.
That's it.
He doesn't look like a monster on camera. He's
No.
in, like the background. He looks like just like a normal dog instead of a behemoth.
Oh, he's a big dog, huh?
Oh, dude.
Hey, and all he does, Vlad, you come over to the house, he ain't gonna come bite you. He ain't gonna bark at you. He's gonna run and get a ball.
And
if you take that ball, you are under contract forever.
My son left the Super Bowl this year, Vlad,
Muddy.
and he was muddy because of how much him and Zeus were playing. It was crazy. Jennifer, I have some sad news for you. Carlos Olberg has confirmed that he suffered a torn ACL in his fight against Yuri Prohashka. He had surgery yesterday in Las Vegas. So
I mean, we knew that. We could see it pop, right?
lost a belt.
At first, I thought it was a calf.
Yeah, I did too. I thought it was an Achilles. Yeah, I thought it was. But
Well, the difference in the Achilles is it would happen on the bottom. So when it happens up top, right? That's what made me think it was a calf and not Achilles. But to have an ACL buckle like that and have your leg do that, that was just weird.
So
I mean, it still couldn't, and Yuri still couldn't win.
Dude, it's crazy. How do
And
you?
you
fumble
just
that?
got. You know what? By the way, as long as somebody punching, somebody could get hit, and that's exactly what happened.
Yep. The
Fig,
Yep,
he
yeah,
said,
NFL
Jay Fig about to go get her fake physical therapy degree.
Listen, I already told you I'm over it.
No, you come on.
I wish
Stop.
him the best, but
You wish him
go find the
success?
belt.
Is he
Oh.
still champ? Is he still champ, or are they gonna take the belt away from him?
That's a good question, Vlad. No, I think they're gonna. He's probably gonna drop the belt. I would think because, like, you know,
It sucks because you don't even get the increase in defending the title.
Right? Yeah. I that's a good question. I don't know if they'll do interim because I think as the way it goes usually, the way they used to do it is you get a year that you don't have to defend the belt, and they could just do an interim belt. Which I feel like in this case they should just fight for the interim championship, and when he's healthy, he's healthy. That's what they did back in the day when it was George St. Pierre and Carlos Condit was fighting for the interim title, and Johnny Hendrick. Like you would need to do something like that. But the UFC got very wonky with interim belts. Like they just did it basically because they needed titles for main events. But the original purpose for it back in the day was, oh, guy's out for a little bit. We need an interim championship. But who knows? Who knows? Some NFL draft news, according to Jordan Schultz, when he's not confronted with Ian Rappaport at a Starbucks in Indianapolis, he has a tweet. It says, sources over 20 teams, including multiple GMs, are at Jordyn Tyson's personal workout today, including the Titans, Giants, Commanders, Eagles, Cardinals, Bills, Panthers, Browns, Cowboys, Lions, Packers, Raiders, Chargers, and Miami Dolphins. So looking at
more importantly, who'd they send?
I don't know. It doesn't say. I
So
don't know if
because they go all over the country to see workouts.
Yeah, I think he's one of the top receivers in the draft. Listen, his red flag, the physical stuff. He had a hammy this year. He's had a broken collarbone. He had a knee injury. But all right. But for everybody who's not out, like Leroy, he's probably going to be the first or second receiver taken. A lot of people are saying like Kansas City's going to scoop him up.
Scoop up who?
Tyson. Jordyn Tyson.
Where? Parnell Tate?
In the top 10. Yeah, over Tate.
Yeah, but what if Bain is available?
Oh, listen, I don't know. I'm just telling you, there's been
Nobody
rumblings.
knows anything right now, Tobes. It's like the next.
I know.
Next 6 days, we're just gonna speculate.
You know what I do, Vlad?
Yes.
You know what I do, Vlad? The most important pick in this year's draft is 2 and 3. Because depending on how those two teams draft, everybody else is then going to feel like they need to either grab that position or guys are going to fall.
Leroy's more likely 3 because 2 is we all know the Jets are gonna go defensive edge. Defensive end. So they're gonna go edge rusher, defensive.
Yeah, they're gonna go
Bailey.
Yeah, they're gonna go with
Arvell
Reese or Bailey.
Yeah,
Arvell Reese falling with that bend. Didn't like his bend.
Yeah, and you know what? What because of his workout, his pro day?
I don't know. I'm just asking because I thought it was gonna be Reese the whole time.
I don't care about his. I don't care about his.
Of course you can't care because you might draft him.
I don't care about that. He gets to the quarterback and he decapitates people. That's what I like. That's what I want.
Jade Sapp says, get that kid from Louisville who killed the Canes. He's also coming off of an injury. But yes, Chris Bell did kill the Canes.
Shout out to Will Anderson Jr. He's the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL.
Oh, he got an extension?
$150 for 3 years with 134 guaranteed.
Sheesh. Good for him.
Yeah. Now his sisters can't tell him anything anymore.
Wow. That's a lot of cheddar. But the Dolphins really have put in a lot of work at receiver. Like I feel like most of the guys we've heard of, most of the top guys, I think they've spoken with or had in. So be interesting. It's gonna be a fun draft night because a lot of things can happen. I will tell you one thing though. I think we're doing a broadcast, Leroy, Solana and I that night. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm going to be pissed off if we do get to 30 and the Dolphins trade out. Maybe a prudent thing to do basketball wise, but I don't want to wait all around and then all of a sudden we have a trade.
Talk about. All right, wait. Are we staying on to both picks for both picks?
I think so. At least that's what the prelim schedule said there, Vlad.
You know I'm there for the pre and your show.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm doing because it's like a pre-draft with Dono and Hollywood, and then it's you and Solana.
Well,
but I was thinking it was going to 11, but
I'm telling you, as we need to call on this. If they trade out, we're out.
Oh, I'm rooting for them
because I'm not waiting around. If they get to pick 29, they're like, all right, we have a trade. I'm like, you kidding me? Like, at least if I'm going to wait around, we need to wait around for something.
Leroy, do you understand how bad that Thursday is going to be? The Knicks are playing Game 3 against Atlanta, and the Jets have 2 picks, and then the Dolphins have 2 picks.
Busy
and
day.
The Dolphins' last pick is the 30th pick.
Yeah,
it's a long day.
I would say,
and you're going to get Ty Simpson.
Who?
No, here. Contrary to popular belief, he may be the second quarterback available in the draft, but he is not a first-round pick.
Mm-mm.
He's not. He's just not. And part of it because of experience. Part of it is because of development that he's going to need. Not saying he's not going to be a good quarterback.
Nah,
but right now, it's not worth the asset to take him in the first round.
If you take him as a first-round pick, you know what it smells like? It smells like Kenny Pickett. It smells like Christian Ponder. You know, like what are we doing? Right. You know he shouldn't be there. Go get somebody talented, then go get him in the second round where he belongs.
I mean, what was the last? Was the Joe Burrow draft the last?
You mean the Tua draft?
Yeah.
The last what? Like the last stack draft?
Where there was a handful of quarterbacks that ended up,
no, the Jaden, the Caleb Williams, Jaden McCarthy. That was that had a ton of picks.
24.
Yeah, 24 had a ton of QBs taken.
5 quarterbacks were taken.
Yeah, but so Jaden Daniels he's been banged up the last couple of years, but he's talented.
2 years.
JJ McCarthy is like he's done nothing yet.
Yeah, the rats off a ship on him, it seems.
Who else? Who else was in that draft?
Caleb.
Michael Penix.
Caleb. We called him a bust until last year.
Michael Penix. Yeah, Drake May.
Drake May, Bo Nix. Right. All guys. By the way, the guys who have had the most success in the draft or the guys who had the most questions in the draft. So like Drake May and Bo Nix. I mean,
I think everybody's answered from that draft except for Penix
and McCarthy.
You know what? McCarthy's first year he was out, so he missed the whole rookie year. He still finished with his first season 9-8 record in his first year.
They seem to hate his ass though, dude.
They hate his ass, but he won 9 games in his first year as an NFL starter.
Yeah, but that's he's got the
Vlad,
demon defensive coordinator over there.
Vlad.
And Van Ginks.
Vlad, you have to put it in context. Okay? Because when he got hurt and somebody else took over, they were 14-3.
The year before.
I get that, but that was the year before. You know what I'm saying? This was
you
still
moved
his
on.
first
You
year.
moved on from a 14-3 year.
That is on. Well,
and
that's
ended up
on-
9-8.
That's on them. That's on them.
Okay, but 9-8. That's why, and I think that's part of the reason why he's probably getting the flack that he is because wait a minute, with the same damn team but a different quarterback, we were 14-3.
Doesn't help that Quarterback won the Super Bowl either.
Right.
Doesn't help.
Hey,
We'll take
that's so Jets, right?
that is Jets. That is so Jets. That is true.
Wait a minute, time out.
Listen, they got Geno back. Now's the time.
If you're telling me that it's so Jet because he had been runner, got passed around 4 other times, then fine. I mean, if you're gonna get passed around 4 other times before you finally become the person you're supposed to be.
No. I'm saying that's so Jets that you give up on the guy who had talent to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we're not the only team. 4 other teams passed up on him too.
All right. Okay. Whatever makes you feel better.
You acted like he's been that guy for
I'm basically acting like, hey, you don't just all of a sudden accrue that talent. That talent was there. You drafted him for that talent. It's not his fault that he sucked on your team. It's your fault.
Well, he wasn't very good either, and he saw ghosts.
No, admit it. I'm not saying he was good. I'm saying that. Can we at least say when you see a quarterback go on to have the year he had in Minnesota and then go on to win the Super Bowl with Seattle, that maybe it was where he was and not his talent?
No, maybe it was who's coaching him and not where he was.
That too.
Because Adam Gase. That was Adam Gase.
Yeah.
Remember Adam Gase here?
What a bum.
Oh my goodness, stop.
Exactly.
You don't have to tell me.
So
Hated
yeah.
him.
If Adam Gase is in your organization, there's a good chance your young quarterback's gonna get effed up.
Chargers offensive coaching room now. Adam Gase and Mike McDaniel. 2 bums, 1 team. Take a break. We'll play a little You Dead to Me to close things out after this. All right. Let's bury some people. You're dead to me. Here's who's dead to me. The Ottawa Senators, the Carolina Hurricanes, the Philadelphia Flyers, the Pittsburgh Penguins, the Montreal Canadiens, the Buffalo Sabres, and particularly the Boston Bruins and the Tampa Bay Lightning. You're a bunch of frauds. You got lucky. And no matter what happens, you guys are going to put the Con and Conn Smythe because your run to the cup, whichever one of you bums makes it there, consider yourselves lucky. Dead to me. I'm going to petty watch the hell out of all you, especially Carolina. Oh, and Tampa Bay.
Why can't you petty watch? I can't petty watch.
You can petty watch, but there's no positive outcome for me here. So that's why it's a pure petty watch. You are petty watching in the face of good things happening for the Heat, and I just can't stand for that.
All right.
But you think I'm going to sit here and root for John Cooper? No, sir. Rob Brindamore? No, thank you. Anything Boston Bruins related? No. I might root for the Sabres, but that's only because I want them to win before the stupid Bills. That would be funny.
Mm.
And they've never made the playoffs. Like they're always out of the playoffs. They're one of the biggest losers of all time. I mean, we know Canada's not going to win. They never win. They never win. And McDavid. Anyway, all of these hockey playoffs, I will be watching pettily. But you're dead to me. Leroy?
You know who's dead to me. Golden State Warriors.
Oh.
Dead to me. You're dead to me.
I don't care. I don't care if I benefit from the ramifications. I don't want a guy who was very unprofessional to benefit in any way. I don't. So I hope he is home, whether he's watching or playing, with the Miami Heat, and then say, hey, buddy, did you get your joy back? Because you're in the same spot you've been in for the last 2 years.
Get my joy back with the lottery pick. I mean, that's what I would get my joy back with. But, to each his own. I don't want to keep harping on it.
Don't hate my petty. I had to deal with your petty for years. You wasn't called Pope Petty for nothing.
Mine was justified.
No, of course, according to you. My petty is justified by me.
But I still would have rooted for the Cavaliers to win a game if it meant the Heat were going to get a top pick.
No, you wouldn't have.
Definitely.
Not if LeBron was playing for him.
I would have. If it would have made good things for me.
No, you wouldn't have.
100%.
No, you wouldn't have. You would have been called the fraud if you rooted for LeBron.
I'll tell you what I would have done.
Okay.
Jennifer, who's dead to you?
LaMelo Ball.
Yeah.
You're dead to me.
It's dead to me. I don't buy his excuses. I don't buy his apology, quote unquote. And I'm waiting for it to be told to Bam Adebayo's face.
Apparently, he says that he was waiting outside the Heat's locker room to apologize, but Bam was not coming out because he was showering.
Because he couldn't walk. Because his back hurt.
Saying what he said.
Also, his excuse of saying that everything was due to him hitting his head. Then why didn't you exit the game? Why didn't you get yourself checked out or something?
Because he's a liar.
Because you're a liar. And you're lucky that UD was not on the court.
You're dead.
Yeah. It's disappointing. But look, it is what it is. Hornets Heat will have some drama to it. Actually, sneaky, I'm glad that now he won't go to the Hornets ever. All right. Unless LaMelo Ball's on the next flight out. But either way, he's very reckless. All right. He's a fun player, but he's very reckless. And he's
Every time
reckless.
I look at him, I just get irked. No.
He's reckless on the court. He's reckless on the roads. Just reckless. He's a reckless guy. He'll pull up from 50.
Fix it.
You're dead.
But it's a deserving dead to me. Vlad, who's dead to you?
Well, let's continue it. Well, you went NHL. I'm going to continue NBA. The NBA and their stupid 65 game philosophy. Now they're allowing Cade Cunningham and Luka Doncic to be eligible for awards, even though they missed some games because of some exemption that they're giving them. For Luka, it was the birth of his daughter, so he missed 2 games.
Don't have kids.
And it's just stupid for them to just have this dumb rule. It's dumb. It's just a dumb rule.
I'm with you, dude. Like, either have rules or don't have rules. Like, hey, unlucky stuff happens, but if you made a rule, not like all of a sudden, and then they tell Anthony Edwards, hey, oh no, sorry, you kick rocks. It's like,
what about Bruce Brown, who played every game, but he didn't reach a certain. So it's not even that you have to play 65 games. You got to play 65 games in a certain amount of minutes.
Right. You got to play like 20 minutes a game
That's
for it to
crazy.
qualify.
Like, think about a guy like Khalil Ware. With the way Spo uses him and puts him in and puts him out, he might have not been eligible for any awards because of coaching decisions.
Mm-hmm.
That thing is just ridiculous, man. It's just a stupid rule. So yeah, you're dead to me, NBA.
You're dead to me.
I love that the NBA just like makes things, and then they just like, if there's a touch of outrage from like 3 podcasters, like, no, we gotta change it. Like, oh man, why? Zach Lowe said something. We got to change the rules. Sorry. Okay, he's angst. I can't vote. It's like, why not? These are your choices. Make the vote. Luka had a kid. Great. I'm happy for him. Very blessed event. You know what he shouldn't care about? Shouldn't care about awards. He should be caring about his kids. That's the real treasure in life. Who cares about first team All NBA? You should be a first team All Dad, Luka. What do you need to appeal for? Cade Cunningham's lung went out. Yeah, it's very unfortunate. I'm sorry, but if it was a hamstring, we wouldn't care. I don't get it. It's weird. And this isn't me trying to be a jerk. It's just like you keep changing the rules with the wind. And that's what you do with everything. That's why he's Commissioner Cover-Up, the fraudest of frauds, okay? The fraud father. That's what he is. He never sticks to his guns. He's just like, ooh. Every year there's a tanking change. Oh, you don't like super teams. All right, let's make it impossible to make trades with the stupid salary cap.
Commissioner Cover-Up, huh?
That's what he is. He's always covering up. He's covering up a hole here. He's covering his ass. He's Commissioner Cover-Up, dude. It's like ridiculous. I'm sitting here and I'm trying to realize, like, I don't know. Shmita says, didn't you miss your kid's recital to watch Jovic play in FIBA? I don't want an award. Even if I did, even if that was true, Shmita, I'm not seeing you be like, oh, I didn't only do this many radio shows. No. All right. I'm happy for Luka. I'm sure he'll be a great dad. Continue to be a great dad. If everything works out with him and his lady. But like, all right, sorry, you're not there. It's ridiculous. I don't even care about them getting the award. I just think it's ridiculous. If you have a rule, stick to the rule. We've got like 5 players. They get to live by different rules. It's ridiculous. That's what he does for everything.
I mean,
salary cap, the draft, anything that's just fodder. Oh, we got to do something. But they don't want to change the 65 game rule. Now we want to do arbitration. And here's the other thing that pisses me off about it. This is the other thing that's dumb. Because they had to do this dumbass thing, now everybody got to watch the play-in games, which are not supposed to count. And you have active voters out there like Kendrick Perkins, who's like, I'm changing my vote if LaMelo Ball gets hurt. Well, you're not supposed to do that. These games aren't supposed to dictate anything like that. But will Commissioner Cover-Up do anything about it? No, because he's a weasel. And that's why I will only forgive him if he gets the Heat a top 4 pick. That's the only way I'll forgive you. But only really forgive you if we get the number 1 pick. Then you get super forgiveness.
I might add another year that to me.
Go ahead.
Prime.
112?
No, not Prime.
Coach Prime?
No, Amazon.
Oh, Amazon Prime.
The Amazon channel for cutting out.
Oh my goodness, was that terrible? That was terrible. You got one job.
And you're dead to me.
One job.
You got one job.
Unbelievable.
And then have the audacity to put technical difficulties on the screen.
What do you think?
I would rather you just have a black screen and have me wondering what happened.
Terrible, dude. Terrible. All right. Well, that is your dead to me. Unfortunately, not an easy segue, but we have to give the highest of honors to those who pass on. Oh, no.
Oh, no. What happened?
Garrett Anderson died.
Oh, that's right. Damn.
Former outfielder for the Anaheim Angels, the champion Anaheim Angels in 2002, won a couple Silver Sluggers, was an all-star. Really a key part. It was like him, Troy Gloss, Tim Salmon.
Sean Figgins.
Yeah, Benji Molina.
Benji Molina.
K-Rod.
One of the catching Molinas.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So
Are there any left?
Are there any? No, I believe Yadier is I think he managed Puerto Rico this year, I want to say.
Man.
So no, Yadi
Could
doesn't
you imagine
play.
all of the players that they could have on their coaching staff?
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
They're like, Papa, I want to be a second baseman. You'll catch like every Molina catched before him.
Daddy was a catcher. Grandpa was a catcher. You're gonna be a catcher, son.
You're gonna be a catcher. No infield for you. Can't I just be first base? That's like the infield's catcher. I don't even know you anymore, kid. What's next? You gonna tell me you want to play soccer? Any Molina kid that wants to do anything but catch.
Can't be a pitcher.
They don't even have chairs in the Molina household. They just squat.
To eat their food. They don't even have plates. They throw their food at a mitt.
Yep. They don't talk to each other. They just signal each other. What is he saying? Gave you the old number 1. That's the mashed potatoes. Pass it. All right, everybody. Thanks for dealing with our silliness today. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Jennifer, have a great birthday weekend.
Thank you, sir.
Feliz cumpleaños.
Oh, happy.
Gracias.
Happy. What do you got going? What do you got planned this weekend?
Nothing really besides like just hanging out with family and have my friends taking me out to dinner today. So.
Awesome.
Oh, so you're not spending for no food. You're not spending money for food and drinks at all this weekend.
This is the J-Fig weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I guess. I mean, I don't really like people catering too much to me. It makes me uncomfortable.
I would have never known by that party you threw that one year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, I let all creative
control.
Control, yeah. I give it to other people.
All right.
You want to do this for me? Cool. Like I'm okay just not doing much.
All right.
Well, I hope you have a great birthday, Jennifer. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Go Marlins. Oh man, that's it. There's nobody else.
He says, "Go
I guess
Marlins."
Pinks. Go Pinks. With their new coach, because we didn't even talk about that. Their coach just stepped down this week, but we don't have time for it right now. And go Canes. Everybody come out of the spring game healthy.
Orange and blues class.
All right, if you say so. Not to me, though. Have a great weekend, everybody, and we'll talk to you on Monday.